Hello, everyone. You're now listening to episode 6 of the Cool Epic Awesome podcast. I'm
Going on,
Matt.
guys? And I'm Joe.
Yeah, and just before we start, I just want to apologize about last episode. I know the audio kind of sucked at points. Um, I just moved into my place at school, so it's kind of like, and I got a new laptop, so I'm still kind of like figuring out the setup here. But yeah, apologies for that. Hopefully, we'll be good this week. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so we have a pretty decent episode lined up. We're going to be
yeah,
talking about 3,000 Years of Longing, which is George Miller's film that just came out. We both watched it, and Joe, I know you just recently like watched it this morning.
yeah. I
So
watched
what
it.
are like your initial thoughts coming out?
I enjoyed it. I'm definitely disappointed. Excuse me. I just I saw the trailer to it and it looked like it was going to be like this mind bending like type of film, and I mean it was fine. I felt at times that I was almost bored. I don't know if it's also because I watched it on my laptop because I was working. I didn't really get the chance to see it in the theater, so I don't know if that took away from the experience. But all the set pieces and like costumes were all really cool. But like I just felt the story was kind of boring at times. What about you?
Yeah, I agree with some of what you're saying. I was never bored really throughout, especially when like the Jin was just telling his stories. I was easily able to listen to him chat like and just go through his history. I thought all that was interesting.
Hmm.
Because the thing is, the movie basically takes place in one room for a large chunk of it,
Yeah,
and once it like gets out of that room, and it's kind of like not him telling stories anymore. It's like them in real life. It kind of
took a
got
dip.
boring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
didn't really like that, but I kind of like how the movie itself is. It's sort of like a critique of the whole like genie and three wishes subgenre.
yeah.
Like they keep talking about, oh, like Three Wishes is just a cautionary tale, like something always goes
Goes
wrong.
wrong. Yeah,
And I thought that was interesting when they took it from like that approach.
but yeah, because I feel like there's never been a movie or some form of media that's took that approach to the genie story.
Yeah, it kind of at points it kind of felt like a fairy tale, like for adults in a way, because it was rated
Yeah,
R.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, I was saying like it kind of proves how like useful of a tool storytelling is, because the whole movie is just him telling a
telling
story,
a
you know,
story, yeah, yeah.
and that was the best parts of it, in my opinion.
I agree, yeah. The best parts were definitely when he was telling the stories of, like, what people wish for and all the different types of people he met, and then when they go back where is she from? London, she said? Or
I forget.
somewhere?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, but once
um,
they go back there, it kinda like, it kinda gets that's where I really kinda the movie lost me.
yeah, and also it's technically, I guess, a rom-com, but it's more of like a drama. Not well, not really
I don't
comedy,
really
but
think
it's kind of
it's a romance. I mean, I think there's heavily, like, themes of, like, love as, like, an emotion and, like, the way people, like, deal with love, but I don't really know I don't know, it's not, like, romantic, I don't know how to explain it,
yeah.
if
I
you
mean,
know.
on Letterboxd, the genres is romance, fantasy, drama. But like the romance stuff, I just didn't really work for me.
Yeah, I
I,
agree.
it was
I
kind of
completely agree.
like jarring, not jarring, but it was weird how like she quickly just fell in love with the
Love
genie, and
yeah,
that was her first wish.
Wish, yeah.
It was just like I don't know, especially after she was talking about how she loves being alone so much and all this.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
it just felt very forced, in my
yeah,
opinion. I honestly, I didn't expect her to, like, wish for that. I thought she was gonna wish for, like, some no, I think she heard all the stories of how, like, he loved all these women and, like, he could obviously things happened, he couldn't be with them, and that's why she wished for that. Because you're right, the whole throughout the whole story, she talks about how she likes being alone, and even when he brings up her I don't know if it's her ex-husband or, like, an ex-boyfriend, and he was like, "Do you want me to wish him back?" And she was, like, immediately like, "No, absolutely not." So
yeah,
I just I don't know, it didn't make sense for her character.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's basically yeah. You basically summed it up there.
Yeah.
But I think Tilda Swinton was great though. Tilda and
And,
Idris Elba
Idris
were
Elba. Oh,
both
yeah,
really good.
they were both great, yeah. They're
It's
both
basically
phenomenal
carried
actors and actresses.
just by them.
Mhm.
Yeah, but, when they
I mean,
did,
honestly,
like, show Go ahead, go ahead.
they're honestly the only really 2 characters that I mean, the story, yeah, but, like, the movie is mostly just them 2.
Yeah. When they did tell the stories, though, I liked that stuff, like, the set pieces, like you mentioned before.
Yeah.
I forget what country that was. The guy was, like, a prince that
Was
found
it
it.
the Ottoman Empire?
It was something like that, but
Yeah.
the whole thing of him being a prince, and then the girl, like, uses a wish to make him
Ish,
fall for
yeah.
her, and like I said, it's, like, all cautionary tales that he's
Yeah.
telling. It kinda makes you think, like, did this stuff really happen to him, or is he just? Because the stories are, like, very on the nose, metaphorical in a way,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? So
Mhm.
it might have just been him, like, making stuff up to warn her, you know? Which and
Yeah,
there's, like,
yeah.
there's a lot of stuff that is up for debate, or you can I don't
They
know, like,
have your
you
own
can look at it.
interpretation of it, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I was wondering why in the beginning she saw, like, the god when she was doing that meeting, and then she saw that weird, like,
Right.
guy in the airport.
Yeah, there was a
Remember?
lot of stuff that they didn't really explain. Like, I don't know, remember the scene where he's running after the girl when they capture her and throw her off the cliff? And, like, that
Mhm.
random dude just, like, stops him for some reason, and, like, his he like, they what the I thought that it was cool, like, it was a cool transition with the little spider thing, but, like, what the fuck was like, I feel like that made no sense, they didn't really explain
It was
anything.
it said it was some, like
It was someone's I think
they
it was Achilles, he said? Achilles, a
yeah,
follower of but, like, why is that
they made, like, a quick mention of, oh, there was someone, like, around to make sure he didn't, like, interfere, because 'cause you're not supposed to, like,
interfere with man?
persuade persuade someone to, like, choose a certain wish or stuff like that.
No,
Um,
I mean
yeah, in terms of technical stuff, though, like, moving past the story, I thought it was all well done. I don't know if you've ever seen, Mad Max: Fury Road,
I have not.
which is this was like George Miller's first film since that. That one was like a huge hit, and it all
Yeah.
had this kind of like visceral feeling. And it's very similar to this, with like how vibrant and interesting, I guess, the
Is
worlds
he
are.
this is a random question, but is he doing the Mad Max prequel?
Yes, he is.
Oh, he is, okay.
Yeah, because I actually just watched that movie like recently, like
I heard
2
it's
weeks
really
ago,
good,
maybe.
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I loved it. Yeah, but this was kind of a step down, in my opinion.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, for compared to the
yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, there's like a bunch of little stuff that is kind of like blink and you miss it. The number three appeared a lot. Her hotel room was 333, the number. There was like
Yeah,
some other
a
stuff
lot
on.
of the little stuff because it was on, like, a cam, I really didn't get to see, and you know how my laptop has that, like, massive crack in the middle of it with, like, the black, so, like, it kinda I didn't get the best, um, quality of picture. I mean, you could tell that there was a lot of, like, effort put into the set pieces and the costumes, but a lot of the little things I really didn't get to see.
Yeah, David Lynch will be tight at you for watching it on there. Honestly, I don't know if you've seen. You know who David Lynch is or nah?
No.
He has like this whole thing that he wants his movies to be watched like a certain way. Like he gets so
Oh,
tight
yes, I heard about that. He, like,
when
flipped
people like
out and watch it on a
he's
phone or something.
yeah
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
he's like an old kook. But he thinks like, "Oh, you should only watch movies all in one sitting." When he would, like, release his Blu-rays, there's no chapter selection. You have to just either watch the whole thing at once or, like, don't watch it at all.
Yeah,
So, yeah, the fact that you watch this from a cam on a
on a broken laptop,
cracked up
yeah.
screen, yeah, I mean, there's worse ways to watch it, I guess.
Yeah,
I can't really think of one, but
my phone I mean, no, my phone is probably equally as bad because the screen is just really small.
yeah. Yeah, I actually went to a new theater to see it that I haven't been to by my school.
Oh, you were telling me it's not AMC, right? It's,
Yeah, uh, the only theaters around me well, I could go into the city, but, like, I don't really wanna take the subway to
yeah,
see it'll take me, like, an hour to get to, like, Times Square to go to a Regal. Cause yeah, we have, like, the Regal Rewards thing where it's, like, unlimited movies for $25 a month, whatever.
mhm,
Um, so, yeah, there's this new theater that I went to called Showcase. I was, like, looking into their, uh, subscription thing.
mhm.
but apparently it's very hard to cancel Regal. You have to like go to customer service and like give them a good reason as to why, or you can't just like go and cancel it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Damn.
it's like weird. But, yeah, I'm kind of getting off topic, I guess, but
Yeah, but yeah.
I like talking about theaters. Um, the box office was awful. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, I saw. And
The
honestly,
opening,
I don't think it's anything to do with the film itself. I just think September is always a weird time for movie releases.
yeah,
Did
the
it come
movie
out in
made.
August? I'm sorry.
Oh no, let me think.
Or
Yeah,
like
well,
for
yeah,
like late,
yeah,
like you know what I
late.
mean. Like this time
Yeah,
is
they
always
made
like a
two
weird
two
time.
point eight seven million opening weekend, and the budget was 60 million.
Jesus, I didn't
So
realize it
and
was
that's like,
that bad.
yeah, that's like not including like advertising,
Advertising, yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, pretty awful. But this is what you see, like when you have an original story, a unique, like not an IP,
Yeah.
major franchise, they just don't make money. And that's why we'll get into it in a bit, but
I
like
mean,
Disney,
there are other like franchise, like new franchises, or like like not. I wouldn't say franchise, but like standalone films, because I don't think they were planning on making a sequel to this or anything like that.
no.
But like, there's some films that like do well like on their own. It's just like they
Yeah.
have to be very very good.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
even if you go to like the top 50 box office movies of all time, it'll be hard to find one that's either not a sequel, a remake, or
or
like
an
an
like
IP.
an adaptation of some
Yeah.
famous book, or
Yeah,
like look
it's
at the Lord of the Rings, the TV show. I mean, oh, we're talking. You don't watch it, but I've been watching it. And the TV show, I think it broke the record for the most viewers of any like streaming. So it was like 225 million people watched it like the first day it came out, or something like
yeah,
that.
and I'm sure that's not because of, not that it's not good because I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's not because of like, oh, it's so amazing. It's just like the fanboys that love Lord of the Rings and stuff, you know.
A lot of the people like don't. I mean, I'm not a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so like they like changed some stuff from the books apparently, which I'm completely fine with because like I don't really watch. I'm not a huge like Lord of the Rings buff, but a lot of like hardcore fans are tight about it. But I think the show's like really good.
Yeah.
Like I will talk about it later, but
Yeah, we'll get
I
into it
love it.
later. Um, yeah, just talking about um the 3,000 years of longing, whatever. Who is like your favorite character? It's really just between two, but who did you
I mean,
enjoy more, do you think?
the Jin. What's his
Yeah,
actual name?
in the movie?
Yeah,
It's just Jin.
Jin. Oh, okay. Because I know he's like his kind is considered Jin too.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But he might have a name, but he's credited as
is
Jin.
Jin okay?
Yeah, he was also my favorite. That was like my favorite Idris Elba performance that I've seen.
Really?
And yeah, and I was like looking on his letterbox. He's in a ton of stuff. So many
Yeah,
major IPs
yeah.
too.
I
He's in
really like
Marvel,
him in.
Sonic,
I don't know if you've
DC.
seen Pacific Rim. I loved him in
I
Pacific Rim.
A long time ago I probably did, but yeah.
The movie.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, he was very versatile. You know, I kind of
Yeah,
always thought of him as like a an action kind of guy, but
yeah,
he was
yeah,
he pulled this off really well.
yeah.
Not to knock Tilda Swinton at all. She was also really good, but I was just more drawn to his
His
character. Thought it
character,
was
yeah.
cooler.
Well, his character's more like like fantasy, and she's very grounded, so I feel like it's easier to like his character.
Yeah. Um, yeah, did you have like a favorite scene that stuck out or not really?
Mm. I mean, I probably the scene where she's trying to save the gun one I mentioned before, and like they had that like not horror, but it was definitely like some like scary elements to it with the guy like turning upside down and his head like falling off and turning into whatever that thing was. That was a really
Yeah.
cool scene for me. But I feel like I can't really say because the quality on my thing was so bad, so I can't really appreciate how the scenes were. So for me, that was what I enjoyed the most. But you might have a different one, but you also saw it in like a better quality. So
Yeah, I was gonna say that one also, which is kind of weird that we
yeah,
both have the same.
both
Well,
like
that whole like it's like the whole sequence in general of
Yeah, yeah.
the prince getting killed, and then he
Killed, and then
goes
they're
to the
coming for
girl.
her, yeah.
I also thought it was funny, I thought the scene was funny with, like, those, like, obese woman where, like, the girl slips and cracks open the thing to,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
reveal him, and then he's,
yeah,
like, begging her so much to, like, "Just wish so I could be free, please wish, like,
yeah,
make a wish," and she's like, "I wish you were back in this bottle at the bottom of the sea." So he ends up, like, getting himself stuck again. I thought that was kinda
yeah,
funny.
yeah.
And I also liked that like, his first story that he told with, the girl
With,
that he was in love with.
Shiva,
Yeah. And
yeah.
I liked, the guy who, like, pulled up and, like,
Oh, the
seduced her,
guitar
I
dude,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah, I liked that guitar thing was cool.
Cool, yeah, and had, like, the extra I don't it's, like, not arms, I guess, but, like, whatever, the
Yeah, they were, like,
coming out of the
little hands
guitar.
on it to,
Yeah,
like, pluck stuff, and
yeah.
that whole, like,
Yeah, that
world.
sequence with all, like, the creatures, and I don't know if they're gods or whatever, that was cool too.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's one of those, like, 2 or 3 scenes that
Yeah,
I enjoyed.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I also kinda liked the one thing I did like about, the ending when he, like, is in the real world was when he started, like, going to explore all of, like,
Yeah, he saw the surgery
the
and
new
stuff, I thought that
stuff,
was
yeah.
really yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really understand, because he was talking about, "I'm made of, like,
Was it
ultraviolet rays or something."
yeah.
Or
I
what was
didn't
he made of?
it was, like, magnetic something.
Yeah, and there's so many, like, waves nowadays because of, like, telephones and
Villains
computers
and
that
yeah,
it, like, killed him, basically.
yeah.
Um, so that was
I thought
kinda
that was
weird to
kinda
me.
stupid.
Yeah,
It
at
takes
first
away from the fantasy element of it.
yeah. At first I was like, "Wait, how is he free?" Because she only made 2 wishes.
Yeah.
But then I realized she made 3 because it was like she wished, for them to fall in love, and
Love,
then
yeah.
when he was, like, dying, she wished for him to speak, so that was 2, and then the 3rd
2.
one was she wished that he would, go back to his world or whatever,
Yeah,
so that the 3rd one set him free.
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I didn't really love the ending of them, like, ending up together,
Yeah, I
but
didn't yeah. And I
yeah.
also didn't like the whole ultra like, I feel like it's a genie, like, just let it be like magic, you don't have to explain it. Like,
Yeah,
just,
exactly.
this
Like, no
it's
one's
a
gonna
genie,
question
no
it,
one's gonna question, like, you know
the science of it, yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Um, yeah,
What
but
did you
that
give the film?
I gave it, 3.5 stars, so 7 out of 10. Like, I still really enjoyed it, and I thought it was very well made, and I wasn't bored throughout. My only problems really are in, like, the story,
Story
and
itself, yeah.
yeah. So,
I
how about you?
I gave it a 3 star, 3 out of 10, 3 out of sorry, 3 out of 5, which would be obviously 6 out of 10. I enjoyed it, but, like, again, those scenes after he stops telling the stories, like, it just completely I feel like it just fell off the rails for me.
Yeah, that's, like, basically exactly my thoughts. If it
Yeah.
was more of that, um
Yeah, I've hit, like, all hit throughout time telling different
yeah,
stories, I would
like,
definitely
I could have listened to that for,
to
like,
that,
hours,
yeah.
but yeah, I feel like this was a kind of weak one to talk about, but it was,
Yeah,
like,
this
the only thing playing in theaters.
yeah.
So, I
Next
don't know
week
if you
we'll have
saw.
some
Yeah, I don't know
a
if you
lot
saw
better.
that movie Barbarian that came out,
Yeah, I was gonna, like, that when I was considering a movie to recommend, that was one of the things I was thinking about.
'cause it got, like,
Like,
great
great
reviews.
reviews, yeah. And
Justin Long's in it.
I
He's
don't know anything about it.
yeah, and neither do I, and that's, like, I feel like the
Yeah,
best. I think I
yeah.
might go see it tomorrow, so
Yeah, I'm gonna try to I have, 3 days off this week, so I'm gonna see if I could I'm gonna probably just go see a bunch of movies.
yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, because so for next podcast, we'll probably talk about Pearl, which comes out next Friday,
Yeah, yeah.
and then Don't Worry, Darling comes out the Friday after that.
Speaking of
So,
Don't Worry, Darling too, we gotta talk about all the stuff going on with that.
yeah, honestly, since we finished, that's a great transition into the movie
Yeah,
news section because we just finished, we gave our ratings, whatever.
yeah.
Um So yeah, I don't know if you like know more than me about this whole drama that's going down, but I'm sure everyone
I
has
know,
seen on
like,
Twitter like Harry Styles spitting on
Riles.
Chris Pine apparently. So
I
yeah,
I
Joe,
s the
what do you know?
video looks like he did, but now I don't know, I don't think he actually did. Cause, like, there's clips of them after, like, fine with each other.
Yeah, it's just like very the whole
Weird.
situation is
It's just very
strange.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of like the backstory though, Olivia Wilde was with Jason Sudeikis. I don't know if they were married or not. I think they were, and they have like two kids. And she was still with him when they started filming Don't Worry, Darling.
Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
yeah, and she was cheating on him with Harry, basically.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Florence Pugh was like good friends with Jason Sudeikis, so she was tight.
Um.
Like,
Yeah. Obviously. Yeah.
because it's not right in general, but the
No, not
fact
at
that
all.
it's like your friend
Yeah.
is like another like nail in the coffin kind of thing. But
Yeah.
apparently, it was getting to points where Olivia Wilde would be like in the trailer with Harry when they were supposed to film scenes, so Florence Pugh would like direct scenes herself,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, it just turned into like a shit show.
Yeah.
But now I think everyone hates Olivia Wilde, even Harry. So,
Yeah.
so I
I
don't
mean,
know if she'll be getting
he's
work.
also a little to blame too.
Yeah, he
But
seemed
she's
I like liked him, but he seemed kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
cocky in a
yeah.
way.
I mean, I still
Actually,
like
yeah, I don't know if the thing with Chris Pine is real, but if that is real, like that's pretty bad.
yeah,
And it was like just when his career is starting to kind of take off in acting.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, obviously, like I got to take Florence Pugh's side.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah,
I'm always gonna fuck with her
yeah.
respectfully. But
Did you see the ratings were actually horrible for "Don't Worry, Darling"?
I know, yeah, and I'm surprised it like looked so
Looks
good
yeah.
from
Like I don't
the
see
trailers.
how it's gonna be. Like I don't understand. Like I feel like there's no way it's gonna be bad. But I mean, obviously we're gonna find out.
Yeah, and it's gonna make a ton of money now, especially with all this drama going on. I
Oh
feel
yeah, definitely.
like any publicity is good publicity, even if it's
Yeah,
bad, you know? Mm. Yeah, it's
I
just
agree.
like it's a bad situation overall because I feel like the movie had so much potential, and it's gonna be like always like no matter what, it's gonna be overshadowed by drama.
Drama and behind the scenes stuff. Yeah. And then also the Shia LaBeouf stuff too.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that part. So apparently Florence Pugh doesn't want to work with Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah.
and
But
and Shia
isn't he
knew.
like an awful person? Like I heard he's like a piece of shit.
Yeah, he like abused his ex-girlfriend. He said that he's cheated on every girl he's ever been with,
Yeah.
and it's like a problem. But apparently he's like reformed. He just converted to Catholicism.
Oh really? Oh,
Yeah, he's like he actually like has said like yeah, like I'm actually a total piece of shit. Like I'm a terrible person. Like I want
yeah.
to change my life. He took accountability.
All right.
But yeah, what happened was he was supposed to play the lead instead of Harry. But
Mm-hmm.
Florence Pugh was like, nah, I don't want to work with him. So he was like, all right, if she doesn't want to work with me, like I'm not going to do the movie. So
Yeah.
then Olivia Wilde like went behind Florence Pugh's
Once
back
he's back.
basically
Yeah.
and was like, there was like a leaked video that she sent to
Yeah. She's
Shia.
like, what did she say? She's like Miss Flo or
Yeah,
something, right?
she's like Shia. She's basically begging him to come to the movie. She's
Come
like, I
back.
really like envision this part for you. Like she was like, Little Miss Flo has to get over it or something.
Yeah.
It's just like mad. Just it's like disrespectful to her.
The her and also to Harry Styles too.
Yeah, and that's probably also part of the reason why Harry also doesn't mess with her.
Yeah. I'm assuming they're not dating anymore.
I don't know. I don't think so, but
Yeah.
I don't know how many Harry Styles fans are out there, but apparently he's very secret with his love life, and Olivia was like kind of flaunting it a little bit, and that got him annoyed.
Yeah.
I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I mean, we'll see the movie though in 2 weeks, so
Yeah.
hopefully
Well,
it's
good.
good. At the end of the day, like I just want to watch a good movie. I don't really care about what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah. I agree.
Um, yeah, but besides that, in terms of other stuff that we got glimpses of, they put out the first picture of Pinhead for the Hellraiser
Yeah.
reboot.
And I think it looks sick. I'm very excited for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it looks really good, and it's like different enough from Doug
Just being on
Bradley's
his
version
own. Yeah. But
that like
still
no
be
one's
like,
gonna be
oh,
like,
this is
oh,
such a
it's a copy or it's like a cheap
yeah.
imitation, you know.
Yeah.
Doug Bradley, his version looked a lot more like completely white face, like it looked like makeup, just white
Yeah.
skin and just pins, and it was very
Yeah.
like clean. Hers is more like you can tell it looks like skin that's kind of it looks like pale skin, and you can
Yeah,
see like incisions all over her head. It's much
yeah,
more like grotesque in a way
yeah,
and not like clean really.
yeah.
And yeah, also I
When
didn't know this, but
well,
the the actress playing Jamie Clayton, I mean playing, excuse me, playing Pinhead is named Jamie Clayton and she's transgender.
yeah, yeah,
And I feel like that's huge. Like it's a horror icon that's being played by
yeah.
a transgender person. And I'm surprised like not as many people are talking about that,
I feel
you know?
like, because if you look at Pinhead's character, like, it doesn't necessarily have to like, obviously, like, it's a boy, but, like, I feel like a character like that, like, it doesn't really it's like a demon, so it's not really, like I don't think it's supposed to just have a sex, I think it's just supposed to be this, like, being, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
who plays the character.
Well, I mean, not necessarily because what's it called? Like
Well,
he's not just a he's not a genderless demon. Like he's a man that gets
no,
turned
that
into
yeah, that gets that's what I'm saying, like, different people can take up the role of Pinhead.
yeah.
Like,
No,
it
like I
doesn't have
agree.
yeah,
I have
yeah.
no issue with it being a woman. And especially in the novel it's based on. I forget what it's called. It's like hold on, let me just look it up really quick. It's like the something heart.
Oh, what is, like is Pinhead a girl in it?
Yeah, Pinhead is a book is a woman. Yeah, it's called the Hellbound Heart. Um Pinhead is a woman in that. And also Clive Barker, who made Hellraiser, is like an openly gay man. So it's not like
Yeah,
Hellraiser has ever
yeah.
been like this super straight, like, oh,
Yeah,
Pinhead has to be
exactly,
white, he
yeah.
has to be a man, like nothing like that, you know? Um,
Yeah. What do you think of the original the new Cenobite that they revealed?
he looks alright. He looks kinda goofy, I can't lie. But
I
so does
like
like
it.
the Chatter also looks goofy. So
Yeah,
and
like
I like him.
Butterball, they all look like
Yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do with the story. I know they said it's about some girl
a
who has
girl
like
with
drug addiction
addiction, yeah, and
and she
finds the
finds the
box.
box. Yeah, it reminded me of the Evil Dead remake
Evil
where
Dead remake, yeah. It's like a mom or something, a single mom struggling with addiction. And it's in like the one thing is a little off topic, but the one thing I'm excited about for the Evil Dead remake is the different setting because every Evil Dead remake has taken place in this cabin in the woods. This one, I think, I'm pretty sure it's a New York apartment. So
yeah,
it's
no,
gonna
but
be really
I
interesting.
was referring to the 2013 version or whenever whatever year it was. That
What?
did you see that one or no?
I have not. No.
Yeah, no, that's what I was talking about when I said the remake. That
Oh
one
wow.
is the girl is like an addict basically, and she finds the Necronomicon, which is like the
The
Book of the
book.
Dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same kind of thing, and it shows how it affects her, like with her illness. I mean, with her like I guess not illness, but her
Addiction.
addiction.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, what do you know about the Evil Dead Rise? That's the new one. Why did they
Um.
say story details about that or no?
Just basically, I think similar. It's a girl with addiction, and I think she's a single mom. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But I do know that it's not taking place like in a cabin in the woods. Like it's gonna be in like an apartment complex. So it's a
All
whole
right.
different setting, which I think is really interesting to see like what they're gonna do with that, like in terms of like the demons or whatever the creatures that they're gonna do. Because every
Yeah.
single Evil Dead iteration, I mean, if you want to count, what is it, Army of Darkness?
Mhm.
That's technically in the Middle Ages, or whatever. But um, they've all been just in a cabin in the woods. So this is the first time they're taking it out of that setting. So I'm really interested to see what they do with it. And I saw also it was originally going to be a streaming movie, but apparently it's been testing very well, so it's going to get released in theaters. So that's always a good sign.
Yeah. Um, I was just gonna say it must have like been testing well
Yeah,
because in order for them to,
want to
especially like
release
what Warner Brothers is going through right now with like shelving all their shit,
exactly. Yeah,
the fact that they want to release it is a very good sign.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, in terms of the Hellraiser stuff, super hype. We're probably gonna get a trailer soon, and when we do,
yeah.
we'll post it on the Instagram.
That
Uh,
and Werewolf by Night both come out October 7th.
oh wow, Werewolf by Night will probably be like maybe an hour long, so
I think yeah, probably 45 minutes.
yeah, so we'll talk about both of them.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to talk about the D23 stuff now.
No, I still want to go over a couple more things.
Okay.
the Knives Out 2 trailer
Uh,
that we posted. Did you watch it or no?
yeah, yeah. It looks good. I mean,
You saw the first Knives Out, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think it looks really good. It
yeah.
looks like the same kind of vibe of
Vibes, yeah,
it's gonna just be a murder mystery type thing.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they already announced a third one too,
Yeah, they did.
but it's
The
just
cast is great too.
yeah.
Um, Edward Norton's in it, and I
I'm
like
pretty
just
sure
watched.
Ethan Hawke is in it too.
Yeah, he is. He has like a
Yeah,
small role though.
yeah,
I have a feeling he's probably gonna be the one who gets murdered.
yeah. Most
But
likely.
yeah, but the original Knives Out was like probably the best murder mystery I've ever
Agree.
seen.
Yeah, I agree.
Um,
So
yeah,
I
so
mean, I'm very excited for this. Is
yeah,
it
I'm
coming out in
interested.
theaters or it's only on Netflix?
They are releasing in theaters. They just don't
Oh, okay.
have like a set date or any plans out
Yeah,
as of yet. I'm I don't know. I'm excited to see what Ryan Johnson's gonna do, and apparently he's still doing his Star Wars trilogy.
yeah. A lot of people like obviously he gets shit for his movie, but I'll say this about it. It's definitely the most like unique take on a Star Wars film. It's the most different out of any of the other movies in terms of the Skywalker saga. So I will give him that. He did like go like reach for like a different type of thing. Obviously it didn't work out, but I don't know. Like I feel like if he has his own project, like that isn't tied to any because he came in, it was in between it was the second movie, so he had to be faithful to whatever the first movie put out, and then also what what they were gonna do in the third. So, I mean, I feel like if he has just no strings attached, like, just he can do whatever he wants, I feel like it has a lot more potential.
Yeah, I mean he's a very competent director. He's
Yeah,
not like what's his face? Who's the guy who does the other ones?
um, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, J.J. Abrams. Yeah. I don't think J.J. Abrams is a good director, but that is
Yeah,
irrelevant, I guess. Um, yeah, so Knives Out too. It's called Glass Onion, which is kind of a strange name, but I'm sure like it'll have
they'll be
meaning.
yeah, yeah.
We also got our final trailer for Black Adam, which I didn't realize comes
Comes
out,
out, like, pretty soon,
yeah,
like
pretty
a
soon,
month.
October 21st.
Yeah. What did you
Um,
think of it?
the trailers like look pretty good. They don't look bad.
Yeah, it
Amanda Waller
looks
was in
fun.
the yeah, this one
Yeah,
kind of gave us more of a glimpse of the
more of the
story.
story, yeah.
It looks like Amanda Waller reaches out to like the Justice Society to stop
Yeah,
Black Adam, I guess.
yeah.
But I just like can't get over like The Rock.
The Rock.
I just can't, dude.
I kinda the more I watch the trailers, I kinda don't like his costume that much. Because all the other costumes are sick, like, Hawkman's costume is really, really cool, the Atom's cool, Doctor Fate's costume is sick, like, the older costumes are really cool, and then that black I don't know, I hope he gets a new one at the end of the movie, because it's just like an old tattered, like I get the look they're
Yeah.
going for, but I wish they would've went more with the original one,
Yeah, and also
but
I wish with him they went more comic accurate. Like Black Adam has hair. He has like a defined widow's peak. He has ears that like he has not
pointy.
normal human ears. He kind of has like elf ears that stick out a
Yeah.
bit. He has a little bit of
I mean,
facial hair. But
that
no,
I don't mind.
The Rock just has to be himself in a costume. Like he can't put
Yeah.
in like the most minimal effort to like change how he looks and be more comic accurate.
That I
Because
don't
he
mind though. Like the little stuff, like him not having like it's not like he had a lot of hair. He had like a buzz cut. And the ears thing, like
Yeah, but
whatever.
his hair is like a defining feature, I feel like. The way that it is, the way that it looks, the way that they drew his
So
hair in the
alright,
comics.
so take it this way. Um like a character I'm just saying like listing him for a random character. Like if like Batman or Superman were bald, you'd be like, what the fuck? Like, why are they bald? But like character like Black Adam where he has like short hair, like super, super short hair, I feel like it's not that big of a deal. At least to me.
Yeah, but if like why wouldn't they do it comic accurate, you
I
know?
don't know. I don't know.
It's because of The Rock, because he has to keep his image. He just has to be himself.
But he's had hair in other movies.
Like what?
Um, what's the
Maybe at the
one?
beginning of his career, maybe.
It was a while ago this movie came out, but Hercules. He has like man
Dude,
long
that's like
hair in
his
it.
first movie.
No.
It's one of his first. It has to be. Well, Scorpion King, I think, was actually not
No, it came
Scorpion
out
King.
in
The
like
Mummy. Let me check.
oh, he had hair in the Mummy, I think too.
He played a Scorpion Man. I don't know if he had hair.
He
Let
has
me
like a
check his
doesn't he
first
have
film.
like a ponytail?
Oh, actually, you're right. You're right.
Let me see.
Just because I'm curious, though, I'm gonna see what his first film was.
The game plan, he has hair. Size, skyscraper, he has hair. Very short hair, but he does have hair.
Either way,
Yeah,
all I'm saying is,
Hercules came out in 2014. He has like long hair.
so why wouldn't they,
I don't know.
or
I mean,
like in the past
well,
like 5 years, I'll say he hasn't had hair in any of his movies. I mean,
let's
at the end of the
see.
day, like you are right, it's just hair. Like it doesn't
It's not
matter,
that,
but it
but
just
like
kind
it,
of
yeah, like it's not that big of a defining feature of him that like I'm like, oh my god, like if they released a picture of Batman and he was bald, everyone would like lose their fucking mind.
yeah, I just
You
would
know what
have
I mean?
appreciated if they like put in the
No,
effort
I agree. Yeah,
to make him look how he's supposed
yeah.
to, you know. They just
What?
tossed The Rock in a
Yeah.
suit and that was it.
The action scenes look sick.
Yeah.
It looks like it's gonna. It may not be a good movie, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
It's
Doctor
like it.
Fate looks sick.
Yeah.
He's a really cool character.
I don't know if you saw they had he does like they were showing there's like I don't, you played Injustice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's how I was first introduced to Doctor Fate. You know the move where like he summons like that like cross thing and like throws it down.
Yeah.
He does that in the trailer too, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
It was like you could tell it was a nod to the game.
Yeah.
Um,
I Do you think Henry Cavill's gonna be in it as Superman or no?
I heard he is. I heard he pulls up at the end.
Yeah, I just like don't know if he like is still gonna do Superman. Um,
I have no idea what's going on with DC.
yeah, and
I
apparently there's like rumblings, like serious rumblings that Marvel cast him in a role or at least talk to him.
talked. Yeah, I heard that he's like. So I heard in Loki season 2, like Kang has like it's called like the Squadron Supreme. It's basically just like an evil Avengers kind of, and he's playing like some like Superman-esque character, like flies, I forgot his name.
Hyperion.
No, I think it's someone else. I don't think it's Hyperion.
Nah, I think it is him.
It's
But
like
either way,
yeah, it's like it's
could you
basically like
imagine if he switched sides to Marvel after like these DC fans have been like,
I would love for him to play. I don't want him to play Hyperion because it's like he's like an evil Superman, which is like what he's been doing the whole time in DC. Like I'd much rather him play like Captain Britain or like some other character. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's the same exact character from I don't know. In my
yeah,
opinion at least.
I honestly think he would make a good Mr. Fantastic too. And I feel like if he is gonna do Marvel, it has to be a high
It'd be a big
caliber
role,
role.
yeah.
So I feel like that is something that he would take. I don't think
Yeah.
he's likely to be Hyperion because it's kind of like you said, it's basically like a Superman
Yeah.
clone, and it's in a TV show. You know, not that he
Yeah.
won't do TV because he does The Witcher, but it's not as big of a name as Superman. You know,
Yeah.
so
Let me see. I want to see the name. You may be right.
yeah, but that's really it. And I'm
Oh
trying
yeah,
to
you're
think if
right, Hyperion.
I want to see if there's any other. Oh, She-Hulk episodes 3 and 4. I don't know if you watched episode 4 yet, but
Um, I did. I actually really liked episode 4. It's probably my favorite episode.
yeah, I like how it was just kind of like madness. Like Wong's in it.
Yeah.
It's like exactly what the show should be. It's like
Yeah.
each episode is one legal case, and they just get through it in the episode, and there's
Yeah.
connections to Marvel and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And the action scene with Wong and She-Hulk was actually pretty cool.
yeah, her fighting was cool to
Yeah.
see, and they put out like a little snippet for what's to come,
The mid-season trailer with the
and
Daredevil stuff.
it seems like Daredevil has a at least decently prominent role
Oh yeah.
in the show. They revealed some of his dialogue. And
Yeah.
I think they're gonna set up like a little fling
Romance,
between
yeah.
them,
Yeah.
which will be cool.
Cool, yeah.
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think what happened in episode 3. Was that the one with Abomination, his trial?
Ye
Or
Yeah, yeah, because that's when she meets Wong first, and he
yeah, that
comes
one was
late to
cool.
the thing. Yeah.
So he ends up getting set free. We'll also talk
Yeah,
about it later, but I'm surprised he's not in the Thunderbolts
Thunderbolt.
lineup
Yeah,
that
I'm
they
gonna because
revealed.
I'm kind of really disappointed with the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, so since we're on the topic of Marvel, we might as well
Start
go
getting into
into
the
the D23 stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Disney every year has this like showcase called D23 where they basically just run through things they have coming up. They reveal trailers, like first looks, casting, whatever for Pixar, Marvel, Star Wars, like just Disney live
yeah,
action, whatever, just all their stuff. So they had a panel yesterday, which was Pixar and Disney Originals and Disney Animation or something. And this morning they had the Marvel, Star Wars, Lucasfilms. I mean Marvel, Lucasfilms, 20th Century.
Fox.
Sorry.
Yeah, which I
So
think the only thing they had was Avatar.
yeah, which yeah, that's all people really care about.
Yeah,
But I I since we're talking about Marvel, I kind of want to go into Marvel, but let's remember to backtrack to the other stuff because I did want to talk
yeah.
about the live action Disney stuff.
What did
So
you think of the Little Mermaid trailer?
um, I mean, I don't know. It's definitely like a like you're. It's a touchy subject with race bending.
Here's
Um,
my thing with that. Because I see people flipping out. Like, it's a fucking mermaid. Mermaids don't exist. So why is this an issue? And from my opinion, she looks the part and she sounds phenomenal in the role. Like, I'd rather they cast someone that's qualified that can sing and like you could I don't know if you've seen the clip.
no,
Like that they
she could sing. She has a
yeah.
great voice, and I'm sure she's gonna do great. The only thing is, like, what? Let's if you break it down, why is Disney making a live action version of The Little Mermaid?
To make money.
Like, what about it? Like, why are people gonna go see it? It's
Because
because they
they watch the original and they wanna, like you
exactly.
see it as a kid.
It's nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this thing I loved as a kid is gonna be in live action. So if you're going for nostalgia and you're going for recreating this thing, why not make the character look the same?
In my opinion, she like looks pretty much the same to me.
Dude, you're literally she's a different skin color. Like she doesn't look the same. I'm not saying it's
No, I'm
bad.
saying, like, in
I'm just
terms
saying
of,
she doesn't look the same.
like, her cat like, the hair, the dress, like, the whole thing.
But
Like, I don't know.
the hair's not even red, it's orange.
No, it's
And
not, it looked red to me.
it was orange. If you pull up a side by side picture, and like I said,
Yeah.
like I have no problem with race bending. I like especially in terms of something like this. Like you said, it's a mermaid. It's not like they have to be white. All I'm saying is if you're going
Yeah.
for nostalgia, I don't think it's a good choice to make the character not look the same as the
Is there
original.
but, like, do you have an actress in mind that would've played the part better? Well, not played the part, but, like, maybe looked the part?
I don't know. I mean, someone that looks like Ariel, I
You gotta
guess.
remember too, like, it's not just an acting thing, it's gotta be somebody that could sing too.
Yeah, but they're Disney. They could get anyone they want to. I'm sure there's some actual redhead out there that is just as good at singing. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to act like I'm this passionate about it because like I'm really not. I'm still gonna watch the movie and I'm sure what's her name, Halle Bailey. She's
Yeah.
gonna be great, I'm sure. But I'm just
This
saying from a marketing perspective, I just don't see why.
I still think it's gonna make a lot of money. It definitely
Yeah,
looks like they put the most effort into this out of their live action remakes.
mm,
Like, the cast is honestly kinda stacked. I don't know if you've seen it.
I didn't look into it too much.
Like
Is
like
Melissa
Javier
McCarthy
is
playing?
is yeah, Ursula, and then Javier Bardem is playing her father.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, which I actually really like. I gotta look at everything else. Wait, hold on, let me look it up. Little Mermaid. Oh, here we go. Rob Marshall's directing. He didn't really do anything crazy. The
Sorry, you can hear
vi
me?
yeah,
Yeah, no, I just have to grab a drink of water. Sorry.
yeah, good.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's alright. It's not as stacked as I thought it was, but it's still pretty good. I mean, the
yeah, I
guy
mean,
Daveed Diggs? He's in a bunch of animated movies.
yeah,
He's playing
I'm familiar with him.
Sebastian. Some no name is
Yeah.
playing.
I mean, the thing is, people eat it up anyway. As we've seen, the Lion King remake is one of the highest grossing films of all time, and I still haven't seen it, but
I haven't
I've
seen it
I've
either. Like
I've
I
heard
just feel
bad
like
things.
they should have like they went for like the hyper realistic look. They should have kept the cartoon look, in my
Yeah, but
opinion.
it's just like what we were talking about before, how it's like all the highest grossing films are IPs or
Yeah.
remakes. Like all that Disney, most of what Disney talked about is just like unoriginal remakes of old stuff.
Well, they
Like
announced a lot of animated originals.
Pixar, and they have the
Pixar.
one, but like I don't know, it's like the
They
same
have to
stuff.
make
They're
some
just gonna
money,
keep
man.
remaking the old stuff. I know they showed some stuff about the live action Snow White. Um, they didn't release footage online, but apparently,
It's Mark
uh,
Webb's directing it, right?
yeah, and we'll
Yeah, I
talk about him
know
later because he directed 500 Days of
Spider-Man.
Summer, which we watched.
Oh, wait, oh, really?
But yeah,
I didn't realize that.
but um, apparently Gal Gadot or Gal, I'm sorry if I mispronounced her name, but she was very good as the evil queen. People were saying,
Yeah,
which to me is kind of surprising because I don't think she's that great of an actress in general, and to play like a villain role, I
yeah.
feel like is a little bit more challenging. So
Maybe this is like
hopefully,
her breakout performance.
yeah, I'm
I
curious
mean, I
as to
think
what they're
she's good
gonna.
as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she's all right. It like I don't know. Her like bad acting is kind of like forgivable in that because Wonder Woman is supposed to be like a little off because she's not from that time.
Yeah,
She's basically like plucked out of her own world.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'm curious what they're gonna do with the Seven Dwarves because I think Peter
There was
Dinklage
some.
came out and said something about how you shouldn't cast like actual dwarves for it because like it's like demeaning and offensive and whatever. So
I
I'm
thought it was the
th-
opposite. I thought he said like that they should cast dwarves in it or something.
no, I think I'll look it up right now. But
I thought
what
it
I
was
think
that. That happened a while ago, though. I remember that.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna do
Well,
like
they said
animate
something. I don't know.
dwarves.
Oh, I kind of don't like that
Because
idea.
think about like how they look in the original Snow White. They're like cartoonish. They have giant noses and like giant
Yeah,
ears.
but here, like, actually, this is a good way to transition too. They have dwarves in the Lord of the Rings, and they look real like same thing with the huge noses and like short, like stubby bodies, and they look great. So it's definitely doable.
Yeah, but yeah, I found the article right now. It says Peter Dinklage calls Disney's Snow White remake backwards. He said on a podcast that he was stunned that they're making a remake into live action, and it says, let me see. And then Disney said they came out and said that they're consulting with members of the dwarfism community. Um,
Didn't they say something? I feel like they said something that made him like. What did they ask him? Like, what was the question they asked him that he said that?
um, no, they just asked what he thinks of it, I guess. Let me see.
Oh,
It just said he kind of thinks like the whole story is kind of like backwards, how she has these seven dwarves,
I mean, I don't know
like
if you know
you know,
the original, what you call it, Snow White, like the story of it.
isn't it like demented or something? It's like dark in a way.
Yeah, like she falls asleep and like the prince like rapes her in her sleep, and then like she wakes up because she has to give birth. And I think she's like fucking like 13 in it. The
Jeez.
Little Mermaid too is like pretty dark. I don't know. I know that's another one that's bad.
Yeah, I mean Disney like they have a bunch of skeletons in their closet. That's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
secret.
Well, like they're not. It's not their story. I think they're based off of other stories. Like, listen, I
Yeah.
don't have a problem. Like, they're obviously not adapting that, but I don't have a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
problem. It's just yeah.
Um, yeah,
I'm
but we
trying to
didn't
think.
see any footage of that. So
No, no,
I'm trying to. They announced another live action Lion King thing. It's like a
which
prequel.
is fucking stupid. I don't know. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
It's like why? This better be some fucking hell of a story that they want to make this movie. But
yeah. It's just to
Is the
make
guy
money. Like,
attached good?
I have no idea. I think it's the same guy who directed the or no, Jon Favreau
No, it's
directed
not.
it.
John Farrell did the original one.
Yeah, it's Barry Jenkins, I think is his name. But
It's
yeah, I don't know
called
much about him.
Let me see. Let me see
It's
what his
called
other
Muf
credits
it's
are.
called Mufasa.
Oh, he directed Moonlight, and he wrote Moonlight
Oh,
too.
wow. Okay, yeah. That's one that I actually was planning to watch soon, so,
But I've heard that's really good.
yeah.
He wrote and directed Moonlight, so I mean, maybe it is good.
Yeah. Pixar also announced their couple upcoming films. What's the one called? Elemental. It's about, like, the elements.
Elemental, yeah,
So it's the main 2 characters are, like, a fire and a
fire and
water guy.
water. They had
So that looks interesting.
the other
They
one,
announced
Elo, right? I think it's called.
a Leo or something.
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah, they
kid
didn't
that
say much about that.
they said it's a kid that like he's kind of like a misfit, and he gets like transported to like this other like planet, and they think he's like an ambassador for Earth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, it's a cool concept.
Yeah, it's a cool concept. Yeah,
Yeah, Pixar is, one of Disney's actual good studios that doesn't just do stuff for money,
yeah, and
besides
they kind of
Toy
fucked them over with all their releases because they've been doing a bunch on Disney Plus. Like,
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I take that back because Lightyear was a complete cash grab. But
well,
besides
I
that,
don't think that was. I think that was more Disney than Pixar.
yeah,
Like, I
probably.
think it was made in collaboration with Pixar because it's a Disney story, but like the characters are Pixar. If that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. Um,
Trying to think what else. They
what's
announced
Inside Out?
Inside Out too,
Inside,
yeah,
yeah, Inside Out
I
2. It
which
says
I still haven't
follows
seen the
the
first
girl.
one,
It's really
the
good.
puberty.
You would like it, yeah. It just follows the same girl when she's
Older.
growing up, going through puberty.
Yeah, I
There'll probably be like some feeling for like
love,
attraction or
attraction,
something.
yeah,
Yeah, which will be
um,
interesting to see how they keep that like PG.
PG, yeah,
Um,
um,
but if it's actually a good story, then I can understand why they want to do it.
I'm
But
sure it is. Like, Pixar usually doesn't do sequels unless they're like all their best movies. I mean, if you take
Toy
out Toy
Story
Story,
4 and Incredibles 2 were
but
basically
I loved Incredibles too.
really
Yeah,
it was
but
never
like
great.
Ratatouille, they never made a sequel to. Wall-E, they never made a sequel to.
Ratatouille is my
Um,
favorite Pixar movie.
my
Yeah, the
favorite
ones
movie
that
is
I feel like
Soul,
the
but
ones
the
that stand on
stand on
their
their
own
own, yeah, better.
are better. Yeah,
But if I
like
mean,
you
if they
said,
have, but
besides Toy Story.
if there's a story for the characters, then I'm all for making more movies. But it has to be like quality.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I have high hopes with Pixar, especially original stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I guess we can move on from that. They announced like a Disney animation thing, but I basically have no interest in that.
What
I
is
don't even
oh
remember
like the
what.
Wish thing or some
Yeah,
fucking yeah,
I
it
know
looks
nothing about
stupid.
it. And
It's
yeah,
like it's like the story of like the star. You know, like they say like that Disney song. It's like when you wish upon a star.
yeah.
It's like the story about it's stupid. It's like the story about the star. Apparently,
I
it's
mean,
just
I'm sure it'll be good for kids,
fucking
but
dumb. But yeah, whatever.
yeah, I guess we can move on to today's panels. Star Wars was in the morning,
Yeah,
and I didn't really look too much into it. I mainly was just excited for Mando season 3. I watched
three.
the
Yeah,
trailer.
looks good.
Trailer looks alright. I mean, it looks like same old stuff, which is good.
Yeah, and
Um,
then they had
you might
I saw they
you
had
might yeah.
the Skeleton Crew, which is John Watts, which is the director of the Spider-Man movies, like the ones in the MCU. It's like I don't really they don't we don't really know anything about it. It's about like these kids that get lost in something and like and Jude Law is playing. I don't know if he's a villain or they like I really don't know that much about it. But John Favreau said that he originally asked him to direct an episode of either like Mandalorian or like one of those other things, and then eventually on the set of Spider-Man, and then eventually that just like turned into like him coming up with a series, which is cool. I'm sure it'll be good. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why he left Fantastic Four was to work on this.
Yeah, and I mean, you always love to see like creator-driven content. Like he must
Yeah,
have
yeah,
had an idea, and it's not just the studio saying, "Oh, this will make money. Just do
yeah.
this," you know?
I agree. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's good. That seems exciting. John Watts is a great director. what else
He's
did they
also
announce?
doing he's a little off topic, but he's also doing the Final Destination for HBO Max. I mean, I don't know if that's still doing that now, but
Yeah, Final Destination is cool.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, that'll be interesting whenever he gets around to making
yeah,
that.
yeah. And
I
then they
feel like
took
that's the reason why the Spider-Man movies aren't happening for a while because I think they want him to come back.
yeah, but that's
But
fine though. Let him have his own creative stuff. Like, let him do his thing, and then there's no rush for
yeah,
Spider-Man.
I don't think they announced anything though new
What?
for
No, they
Star Wars.
they they cast like Ezra Bridges, which is like a Rebels character that a lot of people like. They said some stuff about Ahsoka. They have like a Willow series, which I never even like. Well, I don't really know anything about Willow. And then
Yeah,
they had
I mean,
the
I
Indiana
love
Jones.
Warwick Davis, the
Oh
midget.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
excuse
yeah,
me, the dwarf who's in there.
yeah. It looks
Um,
fun. It looks like
he
a
plays Leprechaun, and he's in like all the Harry Potter movies too.
yeah.
Um,
Um, it looks fun. And then they did the Indiana Jones 5 panel. They showed a trailer. Harrison Ford came out crying after we watched the
really?
trailer, which I was kind of surprised about because I don't know if you see his interviews, like he doesn't give a shit about any of the movies he's in.
No, he actually likes Indiana Jones. He doesn't give a shit about Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, he thinks like Han Solo should have died like a long time ago. There was when they asked him to come back, he was like, "Yeah, there's not really. I feel like his story is basically done,
Yeah,
but whatever." Yeah, there's mad funny interviews where they're like, "Oh, was Han a Force ghost or was he like a vision in
it's like I don't
like Rise of Skywalker?" And
yeah.
he's like, "I don't give a fuck." Like he
Yeah, did you
literally
see the
just
one
said
of
that.
like they were like, "Who shot you? Who shot first?" Han. What's it got? Greedo?
Yeah,
He's like, "Who gives a shit?" or something like that. It was
yeah,
fun.
yeah. He seems. I don't know. I mean, people really love this stuff, So it's kind of like
Yeah,
demeaning
no.
to,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's glad that it's good that he's like passionate about that because he's
Yeah.
probably basically done with
Yeah,
acting.
he said he's done after this. This is like he's gonna stop doing it.
Yeah. Mm.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
that's for Star Wars. That was really it.
Wars,
There was like some animated stuff like Tales of the Jedi or
Tales of the
something, but
Jedi, and Bad
I don't
Batch,
really
and
have any
yeah,
interest in that.
yeah.
I guess we could go to the Marvel.
Yeah,
I feel like we should
Marvel.
just they didn't release too much, but I feel like we might as well just go through like each
Yeah,
thing that they talked about.
Black
They
Panther was the
started with
first one they
Black
talked about.
Panther, right?
I mean, they just like they showed footage. I don't really know, like that. It wasn't shown to the public. It was like apparently about Namor fighting M'Baku and like Riri Williams. So I'm sure it'll be fine. Then they did Ironheart, and they actually announced that Bradley Cooper is an executive producer on the show, which kind of makes
Oh,
me feel
really?
a little better. Yeah,
Wait,
that
Bradley Cooper?
Bradley Cooper. I'm sorry, Ryan Coogler, not Bradley
Yeah,
Cooper. I'm sorry,
I was about
Ryan
to say that's
Coogler.
very weird.
Sorry, I'm a little fried from work, but um, yeah, Ryan Coogler is an executive producer, which I think is great because I mean he's going to be introducing the character, and it's I like how they have a creative continuity, like they kind of keep the same people around.
Yeah, and it's also good because she doesn't have to tell a whole origin story in her
Yeah,
show.
yeah, she
She'll
can just
already
be
be set up.
established. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
also Anthony Ramos was
Ramos is
shown,
playing the Hood. Yeah,
and I think
he's
he
like,
came out on stage also
yeah. So it
at
should be
D23.
fun.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
I don't think Ironheart is that great of a character in general from the comics, but and she
I'm kind of
wasn't well
excited
received.
for her to see how she is. I mean, we'll see. It's Marvel. Like they made fucking like the Guardians of the Galaxy. No one gives a shit about them in the comics, and they're one of the
Yeah.
most popular things now. So I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then after that they talked about Ant-Man
What
and the
else they had?
Wasp,
Him and the Wasp.
Quantumania.
Apparently, it's
Um,
gonna be darker. Someone's getting murked, 100%. If it's either it's
yeah, it might be
someone's gonna get
Ant-Man.
murked. Yeah,
They showed footage, I think, and they also said it's going to directly link with Avengers Kang Dynasty,
yeah.
which is cool. So
My
there
prediction
will
is
be some
though,
big stuff happening.
they're gonna kill this version of Kang, and at the end, like another one pulls up, and that's gonna be like the one
Uh,
that's gonna come
Kang
in.
Dynasty.
Yeah,
Yeah, they also said Jimmy Woo is going to be back, which
which
is
is
good.
fun. Yeah,
Always
yeah.
good. Yeah,
I think Nick Fury's in it too. They said.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, I think
After that,
after
Werewolf by Night was after that.
which that was really the only thing I was looking forward to. I mean, that and the Fantastic Four, but obviously they didn't do anything with that. That it looks really cool. It looks really unique. I know
Yeah,
how they said like
I was very surprised when I watched the trailer. I was like, "Damn, like this looks awesome. It looks
yeah,
cool. It looks different."
Man Thing
I
is in
don't
it too.
really Yeah, I don't really know how it can connect to that greater MCU, but I
It's gonna probably be more connected towards like the Blade, like Moon Knight-esque side of Marvel. Like it's not like they might be like small references, like similar to how Moon Knight was like it took place in the MCU, but like there was very little references to the outside
yeah.
world, which is
Yeah,
fine. I
no.
think that's fine.
Also, Moon Knight was like 6 hours of a TV show. This is just a special, so it'll
Yeah,
be like
yeah,
an hour, maybe
yeah.
40 minutes, something like that.
And I like how he said he took inspiration from. Oh, the director is was it what's his name?
Michael
Yeah,
Giacchino, something
it
like
was
that.
mostly done. This is his first directorial debut. Well, his first movie, obviously, but he
Yeah, the
said
poster was cool too,
yeah, the
with the
poster is really
kinda
cool. He said that he's inspired from 30s and 40s like classic monster movies, and you can definitely tell watching it.
Yeah, you can tell. It has all that classic Universal
Yeah,
monsters stamp
yeah,
on it. The fact that it's in black and white is really cool
really
too.
cool. Yeah,
Um,
definitely really unique, and it looks. I mean, I know they said like, oh, Moon Knight's gonna be dark, whatever. It was like,
yeah,
like
and
this definitely looks like
it looks
dark,
goofy as hell though, which is
but
good.
yeah, yeah. I think it's supposed to be
But
campy.
yeah,
Like you saw someone's arm get sliced off. Like I feel you
yeah,
wouldn't see that in like you're not gonna see that shit in Captain America. You know what I mean?
yeah. Um, yeah.
But
So
that's
I know
October
you've
7th.
been excited about that for a
Yeah,
while,
I'm very excited.
and October 7th is like that's less
Yeah,
than a month away.
yeah, yeah.
I guess
So
that's the next Marvel thing besides like She-Hulk obviously is
She
out.
Hulk, yeah.
Um,
Then they did
Secret Invasion was
Secret
next.
Invasion, which looks cool. It looks like a spy thriller.
Yeah, it looks like very serious, and it's kind of
It
like
it reminds me almost of like I forgot the name of the movie. I think is it Invasion of the Body Snatchers
well, it
or
is
oh
the same
no,
type of vibe.
yeah,
Is
like that's what I'm saying. It's very like who do you trust? Like who you know?
Yeah, it's like The Thing, which we talked about last week.
Yes, yes, the like paranoia and
Yeah,
so
it'll be cool.
yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
it doesn't really feel like a superhero thing. It feels more of
no, not
like
at all.
a
Spy,
gritty, grounded spy
yeah,
movie.
which is fine.
Um,
I like when Marvel tries to do new genres in their films because a lot of people think because this is a similar thing with manga. A lot of people just assume manga is just one genre, like anime is just a genre, which is not. It's just there's many different types of manga. Like there's horror manga, there's romance manga, like you know what I mean. And same thing with comics. Like people just think, oh, like all superhero comics are the same, but like there's horror superheroes, there's like romance stuff that there's all different genres in comics. So I like when they explore that more.
yeah, I agree. I also heard that that Agatha show might be a musical, which would be kind of cool.
Cool, yeah.
Like
I
if
did
they
hear
could
that
dip
too.
their
I hear
toes
that. Yeah.
into that. Um, but yeah, after Secret Invasion, they talked about Armor Wars, which they hadn't mentioned at San Diego Comic Con,
Yeah, they said they
and
start production next year.
yeah, and it's like it takes place directly after Secret Invasion, so Secret Invasion will like lead straight into it, which is
Yeah.
cool. You always like to see the connective tissue.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure
But
Riri Williams is gonna pop up in Armor Wars.
yeah, and yeah, Rhodey was in what's it called? Rhodey
Well,
was in the trailer for Secret Invasion.
yeah, yeah.
Let me see
So I
what
mean,
was
yeah.
next.
What else did they have?
Loki
Um,
season 2.
yeah, which
Um,
actually they cast what's his name from Everything Ever All at Once.
yeah, I forget. It's like Ki Hoi
Yeah,
Kwan. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing
let's
that.
see. That's cool that he got a role like that.
Yeah, there was like a picture of him with Harrison Ford because Harrison Ford was also there, which is cool.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, Loki season 2 though looks good. I mean,
yeah. They said it takes place like literally directly after the first one.
yeah, and I also saw that I think they showed some footage and it said that Kang was like a big part of it, so Jonathan Majors will be back for that.
Yeah, I assume.
Let me see. Yeah, and the guy from Everything Everywhere, he plays a TVA agent.
Oh, he does. I
Yeah,
didn't know what he was playing.
which is cool. And they confirmed after that they confirmed Matt Shackman's directing Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But I was expecting a
Um,
cast, honestly.
yeah, me too.
I'm kind of
But
disappointed because I
it's
don't know,
whatever.
but
And
and
also,
Kevin Feige said, yeah, like we have nothing on that. We won't have anything until after next D23.
damn,
So
that long?
yeah,
It's gonna leak before that. There's no way.
yeah, hopefully.
Uh, um, One thing I was tight about though, we didn't get any Blade news,
Oh yeah, I forgot
and
about
it's
that.
coming out pretty. I mean, it's gonna. When is it filming? It's got to be soon, right?
I think it might be filming already. Um,
Let me look
I
it
don't
up.
know, but then after that they talked about Echo for a little bit. Kingpin's gonna be back, and he's gonna wear an eye
Yeah.
patch or a
Oh, it's
bandage
apparently
over his eye.
it's gonna start October 5th. Is when it's so next month.
Yeah,
He's probably gonna be in Werewolf by Night. Him or Moon Knight.
yeah. They went to Daredevil Born Again after. They
Yeah.
changed the logo, and it's like a more traditional, like in the back, it
The
has like
double D
the,
one. Yeah.
yeah, which hopefully they incorporate that onto a suit. That would be cool.
Yeah. I'd love
It
for him to
begins,
have, like, the bright red, like, leather classic suit would be really
yeah, I think
cool.
they'll do it,
Yeah, they
honestly.
will. And I mean, I know I love when they do the super out there suits, like the orange, sorry, the yellow and red and She-Hulk looks sick. Like, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. They said that it starts filming next year. There's 18 episodes.
Has it
So that,
who did they say who else is the original people from the Netflix series gonna be in it?
let me see.
I heard Punisher's in it.
Yeah, they didn't announce anything about it really in terms of stuff like that.
18 episodes is long, dude. I'm like,
Yeah,
they
it's long,
honestly could do
especially
like 2, like, almost like arcs in it.
if it's once a week. That's like what, over 4 months of Daredevil once a
Like
week.
a third of the year.
Yeah,
That's
it's pretty
crazy.
crazy. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
after that, they talked about Captain America 4. It has a new logo, and this is actually pretty big. They said
What's his name?
the the main villain will
The
be the leader,
yeah, from
who,
The
yeah,
Hulk movie.
he appeared in the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton all the way back in the day, and there was this thing of him like kind of transforming in that movie, but they never referred to it.
Like refers it again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he'll be coming back, which is
And then they
cool.
cast some other actress as like I don't know what it is. It's like some Israeli superhero, I think, or something.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that, so
I've heard rumors that Moon Knight is gonna be in it.
that'll be cool. I mean, it seems
Uh,
like it's gonna be more of an event kind of movie, so hopefully there'll be crossover
yeah.
with other heroes and stuff like that.
I think right after that, Thunderbolts. It's like it leads into Thunderbolts, I believe.
Yeah, and Thunderbolts was the next thing that they revealed. So they revealed the roster, and I know you had your gripes with it, Joe. So I don't know if you want
Yeah,
to
I'm
talk
not a
about it
big
really
fan of the
quick.
roster. Yeah, so the roster is I gotta find a picture. Hold on.
I have it if you want. I could just say it.
Yeah, you just say it then, yeah.
Yeah, so it's Taskmaster, U.S. Agent, Winter Soldier, Yelena, Black Widow, Red Guardian, and Ghost.
Okay,
Um,
so out of what are those 6 people?
yeah,
Was that 6? 5 out of the 6 people have the same exact powers. They could fight.
yeah.
Like they have, like Ghost was cool. I wanted them to do Ghost. Um,
I think this isn't the full lineup though. I would assume that there's going to be more that they're saving, and
I
one of
don't
them is
know.
probably Abomination or Red Hulk.
I hope Abomination. Like
I'm
they
glad
need
to
like a
see I'm glad to
well,
see Red Guardian back
yeah, he was
because
cool.
I like David Harbour. And
Yeah,
Yelena's like at the forefront of the image they put, so she's the leader of the
yeah.
team. It seems like,
And then
and I feel like
also no,
it'll be a Suicide Squad situation where she's like the
yeah,
one that's not a villain, even though
and just,
Bucky's in it. But
yeah, I don't know why Bucky's in it. And then also there's no Baron Zemo.
oh yeah, that is
Like
weird.
what the fuck? Like if I don't know.
I also think Agatha might be a member. Because she is a
That
villain,
would be
and
sick, yeah.
maybe they don't want to reveal it yet because it'll like spoil her escaping from Westview, you know.
I'm just
So
like I'm really disappointed in the lineup. Like it's just like first of all, why is um Winter Soldier on there? Like it's supposed to be I don't know. I get like he's supposed to be like reformed now. Like
yeah,
he
the only thing
his
I
whole
could think
arc
of
in what?
is because the whole thing is they're like it's all these criminals, and then they'll be like, oh, do this mission for us, and we'll take time off your sentence, right?
Yeah, but
So
Bucky's
maybe
free.
yeah, but maybe because like of all the murdering he did, like it ends up catching up, and they're like, no, like you still have to serve time, just because for whatever reason they say. Because I feel like Marvel would do
But I
something like
feel like
that.
his whole arc in Captain America, what is it, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, is like him like going away from that like life, like him like coming to grips with like not like because he was like a shitty person and like killed all
Yeah,
these
no, but that
people. Yeah,
he still has to pay for what he did, you know?
yeah. I liked Wyatt Russell. I think I love his costume. His costume's so
Yeah,
sick.
U.S. agent would be cool, and Yelena
Yeah,
is always good. It's
yeah.
interesting that they're bringing Ghost back because she was kind of a one-off just in Ant-Man
But
and
there
the
were
Wasp.
rumors of her coming like when like after that movie came out, people were like because they always talked about Thunderbolts as one day. Um,
Yeah,
there was like I remember them saying like that there was like rumors that she was gonna come back for something.
I think Taskmaster is not going to be that girl though, because
Probably not. It's gonna be like a different one.
they put out like a picture of all the actors together from the
Mhm.
Thunderbolts, and the actors from who plays Taskmaster isn't there, and there's like this guy there that I'm pretty sure was the stand-in that like did the fight scenes for Taskmaster.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they wouldn't if they were gonna use that girl, I don't know why they wouldn't show her.
Yeah, I'm kinda really disappointed in the lineup, especially no Abomination
I think
or Red Hulk.
Abomination is gonna be there. I think one of the two will be there, but maybe they're waiting and don't want to spoil it.
I mean, it's still 2 years away, like, they could change the lineup. It's not
Yeah, but
like that.
you are right.
What?
I didn't even think about the fact of like their powers. They all do the same
They
thing.
literally all do the
There's
same thing, besides
yeah,
Ghost.
yeah.
It's just like, the only ones that should be there are, like, Yelena, Yelena and,
US agent.
US Agent, and maybe Taskmaster. Like, Red Guardian first of all, he's Russian. Why was he gonna work for the US government? That makes no sense. And
Yeah, I mean,
then
I'm sure they'll have some way to explain it,
yeah, I'm
but
I'm sure they will, but it's just like I was really excited for that, and it's just like compare that and compare James Gunn's Suicide Squad lineup. It's like it's not even close.
yeah.
Like the fucking rat from on whatever her name is more interesting than half the fucking characters there. I don't know. I
Yeah.
was pretty disappointed with it, but I mean, we'll see. I'm still gonna see it. Maybe they'll change it. Maybe there's more people that they said that they're just not revealing yet. Because didn't Feige say actually that there's gonna be original characters on the team?
Yeah, there's gonna be he said there's gonna be people on the team that haven't appeared in an MCU movie before. So this isn't the final lineup, I would say.
Imagine like a bunch of them get murked in the opening scene.
I doubt it.
Nah, they
First
would
of all, that
never.
would
That'd
rip
be
off Suicide
crazy.
Squad,
No,
and
I
second of
know.
all, Marvel would just never do that.
Yeah,
Let me think. Besides that, they showed some stuff about the Marvels,
yeah. I think they said
which
that their powers every time they use their powers, they switch places, and it's about them trying to figure that out.
yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. That explains
Yeah,
the
it's
post-credit scene for Miss Marvel. I'm
for
not
Miss
too
Marvel.
excited, but I'll still see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll be good.
But yeah, that was basically it for Marvel, and
Yeah,
I'm a little bit disappointed because I had really high hopes. I thought they would like announce new cast members and like
yeah,
especially with Fantastic Four, but I
and
was
Blade
expecting them
too. I
to
was kind
yeah
of tired about
maybe
Blade.
like say who's gonna play Dracula in Blade or if he's even gonna be in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy we got Werewolf by Night shit, but um,
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it still is a lot, you know, especially considering they just had like a huge conference recently at
yeah,
San Diego Comic-Con. But yeah, we're gonna be well fed as like Marvel fans, you know. There's always new
yeah,
shit coming out, so.
yeah. Um,
And then after that, they just like talked about Avatar 2.
Which I mean,
Um,
I'm gonna see. I don't really know anything about the
yeah.
story.
It says Avatar 4 has
It's
just begun filming.
Yeah, they filmed 3 already. You gotta
Oh,
remember too, like the visual effects take years for these movies.
yeah. Yeah, and honestly, like I'm gonna see it just because like hopefully it'll be
The
good.
visual effects and shit. I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine, but
Like
you're not really there for like that.
I'm
You're
not
there
like
because like the
excited, you know.
yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it and we'll talk about it on here.
Yeah,
So yeah, I guess that for like SD, not SDCC, D23 and like movie
yeah.
news. That's basically it. I don't know if
Basically,
there's
yeah.
anything else you wanted to talk
No,
about.
not. Yeah. I mean, the main thing for me was really the Werewolf by Night, but other than that, kind of disappointing. But what are we gonna do?
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I guess we'll get into the next movie that we watched. This was the
500
movie I
Days of Summer.
recommended last week. It's called 500 Days of Summer, released in 2009.
Yeah.
You good?
Sorry, that was coming.
Oh, that's okay. But anyways, yeah, 500 Days of Summer, released in 2009. It was directed by Mark Webb. It was his first movie, and he's better known for directing the Amazing Spider-Man movies.
Yeah,
This is a rom-com, and you kind of see in the Amazing Spider-Man the best parts are like the romance between Peter and Gwen. So I thought that was kind of cool.
oh, yeah.
But yeah, the basic storyline is there's this main guy you follow. His name is Tom, and he's the
Mhm.
classic hopeless romantic. He thinks
Like, holding
that
out for love, like, true
yeah,
love, yeah,
he thinks that true love is real. He's looking for the one. He's very like he's not willing to like take leaps really. Everything has to be
yeah,
it has to like come to him like he's like naturally, it has to be like meant to be. And
yeah.
then he meets this girl who's the exact opposite. She's, as they say, the manic pixie dream girl who seemingly is just does stuff for no reason besides because she wants to. She thinks love
Very
is fake.
impulsive, yeah.
She just like the whole thing is she moves to wherever. Where does it take place again? I forget.
Is it San Francisco
It's like Seattle, I think,
or
or
Seattle?
somewhat.
Oh, okay.
Or yeah,
I knew it was
regardless.
some West Coast thing.
Yeah, she just moves there and they're like, "Oh, why'd you move here?" She's like, "Yeah, I just wanted to." Like she's kind of crazy. She's what's the word? Um,
What?
not not edgy. Whatever. I'll think of it.
Yeah,
But
well, I'm not, yeah. I don't know the term
quirky,
right now.
quirky. She's
Yeah,
quirky.
yeah,
She does like whatever this and that. And it's the story of them meeting and their relationship and how it goes. And it's told in a non-linear format, which really helps because you get to
yeah.
see it'll
The
show like them breaking up and then it's like, oh, how did they get to this point? And it keeps like going
It
back and
keeps you
forth
really
between
engaged, I feel
the
like.
timeline of their relationship.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious what you thought about it overall, Joe.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. Um, I'm not really a big fan of rom-coms, but I it was a good movie, you know. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I wasn't really the biggest fan of what's her name's character. What's her name? Isn't it all Summer, right?
Yeah, summer.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna like we don't agree on this, but I kind of think she's like a dickhead.
Hmm.
But I mean, like the whole thing is, it's like this is what's really good about the movie is that it shows you both sides of the story. Because then I feel like at the end of the day, they're both wrong. Like
Yeah.
they both are kind of assholes. Because like they're basically like the whole plot is like he really likes her and she's into him, but she's like, I don't want any strings attached. Like I just want to, she doesn't want
Hmm.
any commitment. And he's like, oh yeah, like he lies. He's like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like I'm into that too. And then like as time goes on, he gets like stronger feelings for her, and like she just can't commit. Like she doesn't want to. And it's just about that. Um, she's
Yeah.
not wrong for that at all. Like she's entitled to do what she wants. The reason why I think she's a dickhead is because she basically like dances with him and shit at this wedding, and she's like practically engaged to another man, and like
Bro,
leads him on
like
and flirts with him.
she's dancing with him. Like, who cares? It's not cheating. Like,
So if you found out your girlfriend went to a wedding, was like flirting and dancing with an ex-boyfriend, you would be okay with that?
I mean, I would be tight, I guess, like, but I mean, yeah, I would be tight. I'm not
I
saying
wouldn't
she's
I wouldn't
right,
have a
but
girlfriend anymore. I'd
it's
break up with her.
definitely it's definitely on the line. But he asked her at the end. He's like, that just goes to show like her personality, the manic pixie dream girl. He's like, so why'd you dance with me at the wedding? She's like, because I wanted to.
Yeah, that
Like
doesn't mean that
she
like
just
that
does shit
doesn't.
because she wants to. There's no
No, I know
reason.
that
Like
doesn't make it
she
right.
didn't do it because she wants to lead him on or she wants him to like
No, I know,
get
but
feelings, you
I
know?
know, but whether she wanted to or not, she still did it. Like she, you know, what I mean, all she thinks about is herself, and like that's why she, not. I'm not like in terms of their relationship, she didn't do anything wrong because like she told him in the beginning, like I don't want any strings attached, and he agreed. So
Yeah,
he has no
but
one to
he's
blame for himself.
yeah.
But
I mean, we'll get into it later, but I think that Summer was actually the good guy. I think Tom was like the villain. Not that there's a villain in the movie, but
there's no
I
villain.
think
It's just yeah.
I think he was more wrong. Bro, he's basically like he's a simp. He's like an incel basically. She's like, "Oh, I
No,
like your music."
I agree with you in the sense in their relationship. Like it was more on him than her. Like because he knew the risk going in, and he lied, and then like he got annoyed at her, but she told you like, yo, like I told you in the beginning, I don't want anything serious.
Yeah.
That's I like
And
I think that
I
you
think
go, you go.
one of the points of the movies is to show how being like Tom is not admirable in a relationship and it's not good to like
Yeah,
just all she does is
just
show him
let me get walked over.
one glimmer of attention. She says, "Oh, I like your music." And he like instantly falls in love.
Yeah.
And I thought one of the things that happened when he's like, I gave her so many chances, and it like shows the chances, quote unquote, that he gave her. And one of them was like him just playing the song really loud that she liked as she was leaving, hoping that she would come by and say something.
Oh yeah,
That
and
was
then
like
he's like, no,
that was like
I
him giving her a chance. You know, it's he's like a very flawed character in that sense.
no, I agree. And then like she said like I had a good weekend, and he's like, oh, she's getting railed by some dude at the gym, and his friend's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like it
Yeah.
reminds me of like how I was like in like freshman year of high school with girls. Like when you
Yeah,
first
I
start talking to
that's the
girls.
thing. I agree. I like this how Tom is in the movie is like exactly how I used to be in terms
Like
of
when I first started
relationships.
talking to girls and stuff, and I would just let like girls just walk all over me because I didn't know my own worth.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
that's why I connected with the movie so much. And when I originally watched it, it was kind of like um it's against like my personal life, but it was like after a breakup.
Hmm.
So it kind of like made me realize like damn, like this guy who basically is how I was acting is
Yeah.
not like he's not
I
like
th-
like admirable to be the nice guy, you know?
yeah. I
So I
like
can
I'm agreeing with you in that sense. Like in terms of their relationship, like she really didn't do anything wrong. But I'm just saying like she's a dickhead for dancing and flirting with him at the wedding.
yeah, I mean, I could say that yeah, to lead him on was like a little messed up and
Not
I'm
no, but not
sure she
even to
didn't
him. It's just more to her husband or
but
like her
she didn't have
fiance.
any intentions of like doing anything. You know, just you could
I
tell by the
know,
type
but
of person
no,
she
I know,
is.
but still, intentions are not still fucked up. Like if my girlfriend did that, I would break up with her.
Yeah, I mean,
If she was at a wedding and I found out she was like dancing and flirting with a guy that she used to hook up with, no, fuck that. I'm not,
yeah, but the thing is like she's quirky, so she's allowed to do it.
she gets the pass because she's silly and
She gets
goofy.
she has the quirk pass, so she's
Yeah.
allowed to do stuff because she wants. Yeah, but no,
But
I'm not like arguing with you. I just want to like point out
no, you're. I agree.
these
I
things, you
100%
know?
agree with you that like the hopeless romantic because like that's literally how when I first started talking to girls like I related to him because like I knew what it felt like. Well, like you're just like oh like I'm never gonna find love. Like you know what I mean? Like you're just very
Yeah.
like I'll do anything for this girl and stuff. It's like when you first start talking to girls and you don't know like you like girls walk all over you. So I like I understood his character, but like I knew his character was flawed because like that's not like you shouldn't be like that.
Yeah. And I like I said though, the part like that really stuck with me, the part of, oh, like I gave her all these chances. And like it sounds ridiculous when you watch like, oh, him giving her chances, but like I feel like I would do similar stuff. I would never be straight up with a girl and like
Oh
tell them I
yeah,
like
no,
them.
no,
I would just
yeah,
like do all this subtle stuff and be like, oh, if she wanted to, she would make a move. But
pick it
when you
up.
see it
Yeah,
from an outside perspective,
it's not
you're
like
like,
that.
wow,
Yeah,
like that's ridiculous, you know?
yeah, I
Um,
agree.
yeah, so that's why I liked it so much. He also makes like he basically creates a perfect image of her of like Summer in his head of
Yeah,
like what
that's
he
like a, yeah,
thinks, and she doesn't like fall into the mold of what he thinks she should be,
exactly.
and then
Like
he
he
gets tight.
creates this scenario in his head of the way she is, but in reality, it's like not. That's not how she is at all.
Yeah, and there was a part where um his friends are like, "Oh, so what are you? Like, are you boyfriend and girlfriend? This and that." And like the narrator says, he's scared to ask what they are because he knows he's not gonna like the answer,
Yeah,
you know? So like he knows, but he's just like too
he's just being
scared
a
for
bitch. Yeah,
yeah. But I feel
no,
like on first thought, when you walk out of it, like you're thinking like, oh, like Summer, she's the one who's wrong, like all
no,
this
I
stuff. But
didn't.
when
I
you
didn't.
start to get into like what actually went down, because you're gonna feel for the guy who got his heart broken, you know?
Yeah,
But
like I didn't. As when I was watching it, like they both are wrong in certain ways. Like Summer's very selfish, and all she cares about is herself. But also, what's his name? The guy?
um,
I forgot his name. Whoever. Uh, Gordon
um,
Levitt's character, whatever his name is. Like he's also an idiot too, because like he's like a simp. Like he's like, oh, like why
yeah,
me? Like I love her so much. Like shut up, stop being a fucking bitch. Like
yeah. And then
grow up there.
when he breaks up with her, or she breaks up with him, he basically has like a manic episode and goes insane. When
Yeah,
like in reality, like this shit happens, breakups happen. It's not the end of
yeah,
the world.
yeah,
Like he loses his job. I thought also there was a lot of this leads me into how the movie was in terms of rom-com, like it was very funny. And it was funny in
yeah,
subtle
yeah.
ways.
I thought it was
Like
funny too.
I remember I don't know if you remember the part where the guy who plays Phil Coulson, Clark Gregg, I think his name is, he's like his boss at the company.
Yeah.
And after the breakup, he's like, "Oh, I know something that'll be good for you. Like do sympathy cards,
Oh,
you
oh
know."
yeah, yeah,
He's like, "Yeah, like having no reason to live, it's perfect for you." Like stuff like that was funny.
yeah. That was funny. Yeah,
Um, let's see. Um, yeah, and in terms of how it was made, I think it was very well made, and there was a lot of um, like, I don't know what the word is, like
wow.
unique storytelling choices, like how when he
Yeah,
goes to see the movie, I thought it was really cool how he saw himself like in the movie,
yeah. I thought that was cool. Yeah, and
and it was
she
literally
was in the
him.
movie too, right? Like in one of the
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so for those of you who didn't see it, there's like a scene where he's like watching a movie and he's starting to fall asleep, and then it shows the movie that he's watching, except he's like the character.
Yeah,
And it's kind of like us watching the movie, we're putting ourselves into his character's shoes, and like relating that to us. But I thought it was like a cool way of visually showing it.
yeah,
I also like that like small documentary quote unquote that they put in where they ask like the main characters like, "Oh, what would your perfect girl be like?" Do you remember that part?
no. Well,
There's a part where it's like in black and white, and they ask like the main characters, "Oh, what would your perfect girl be like?" And the one that's like one of his best friends, he's like, "Oh,
hmm.
my perfect girl would
Oh
probably
yes,
like
yes. I remember
have
that.
blonde hair, be like have huge like breasts,
Yeah,
like all this stuff." And then he's like, "Yeah, but no one like, but no matter what, like she'll never be as good as Robin, who was like his girl."
yeah,
And he was like, "Yeah, because Robin's real, you know."
yeah,
And it's kind of goes into this whole like hopeless romantic thing that you think you have to find this dream girl when in reality like everyone's flawed,
yeah.
you know?
No, I agree.
So that was a great scene, I thought. It's not my favorite scene in the movie, but that was I
I
liked
forgot
how
about that
they
scene. I really like. Yeah, now that you remind me of it, like I did really enjoy that scene. Because
yeah,
it's
how they
true. Like
like
a lot of people put these images in their head of these girls that like they want to model that like fucking like like hourglass body, like blonde hair, and like reality. Like most people don't look like that.
yeah, and
And
especially with how sorry to cut you off, but especially with how like exposed we are to television, social media. Like we
Yeah,
see these
like
models and crazy girls all the time.
even like this is a little like on the raunchy side, but even like porn, like you see old like people like you a lot of people watch that stuff and they see like these supermodels and shit, and it's not like that in real life.
Yeah, and that also is like this is I don't want to like get into that, but it like ruins people's sex lives,
Oh
especially
yeah,
young
it does.
people.
Yeah, yeah, because they have all these expectations, and in reality, like it's not
Yeah,
like that.
and not in terms of sex, but also like relationships. It ruins people can't be with someone because no one will ever be good enough to them, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
No,
I
yeah,
thought that was like a really cool part of the movie, and
yeah,
it stuck out. The movie's also to talk about the ending a little bit. So the movie ends, he moves on, whatever. Um, that scene at the end was also really powerful where she meets up with him
yeah.
and she's like and he's like, "I don't get it. Like you said that you can never be married, you can never have a boyfriend, and now you have a husband. Like what happened?" And she was like, "No, like it sounds crazy, but you actually were right about like love. It's just that one day, like she says, one day I knew with him what I was unsure of with you, you know?
Oh yeah, that fucking
That like
that
that
ripped
hit,
him to
bro.
shreds, bro.
Yeah.
That
That's like
poor dude.
crazy. But that's like how reality is, you
No, I
know?
know. Yeah,
It
it
sucks,
is.
but
No, that is what it's like. When you know, you know.
yeah. And also she says like you were right about love, just not about me, which is, those are
Yeah,
two like rip your heart out type of things.
yeah. That was
There
probably my favorite scene, honestly.
yeah, that was a great scene. There are some people
Yeah.
online that say that there's like a theory that that never actually happened. It was just like that scene took place in his head and it was him coming to terms with what happened. Because if you think about
Mm.
it, she just randomly happened to be there, like at the bench. They didn't like plan to meet up or anything, which would make
Ah,
sense. But I kind of want to
yeah.
believe that it did happen,
I
you
think
know?
it. Yeah, I think it did happen.
Yeah. And then at the end, he goes for this job interview and
No, he meets the girl Autumn.
he meets this girl and whatever.
That
He's
was
like, oh,
really
do you want?
cool.
Yeah. He was like, oh, like, what's your name? This and that. Like, do you want to get coffee? Whatever. And the narrator's talking because at first he didn't say anything and he just went into his interview. Then the narrator's saying like, yeah, like Tom, he finally realized like not everything is fate just because you meet someone at like it's just sheer luck. There's such thing as coincidence.
Yeah,
And then he's like, but like maybe not today. He didn't learn that or like something like that. And then he turns around
and
and
goes and
like
asks her.
and goes and asks her because he thinks like, oh, there has to be a reason why she was here today. It's fate.
Yeah,
Um, and and the whole thing with her name being Autumn is, like, tongue in cheek kind of. He
yeah.
like, Joseph like, he looks at the camera after she says her name, and I feel like it's kinda just showing that at the end of the day, he didn't learn anything. He's gonna, like, repeat the same thing again that he just went
See,
through.
I disagree with that. I feel like he probably like he's gonna be way more cautious now in the future.
Yeah, I mean,
Like
the one
he,
thing I will say is he doesn't wait, like, this time he actually goes and asks her out straight up.
yeah, it's what I'm saying. He learned. He
But
learns.
yeah, he does learn, but the whole thing of, like the reason why he asked her out is probably because he thinks, like, it's fate that he met her there at that time, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
And I think
Alright.
that's the whole reason why he, like, looked at the camera because it was kinda like, "Haha, like,
Yeah,
it's autumn, like, it's this thing's gonna happen
yeah.
again."
Now, talk. I kind of want to change my rating for the movie now.
Why you like it a little more, you think?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like when you start to, like, discuss and go
Discuss
in
it.
more into
Yeah, you
depth.
start to yeah. Because I mean, like there really isn't a lot bad with the movie, honestly.
Yeah, and the reason another reason why I like it so much is because it's so realistic. In my opinion, it's not like fairy tale endings, like, it's the
Yeah,
most, like, accurate depiction of what relationships and love is like in real life, at least in my experience with it, and I'm young, but, you
yeah.
know?
Oh, also, there's another scene. I'm now looking at my review of it. The bar scene. She's a
Oh, he
fucking dickhead for
bro, she
that.
doesn't but here's the thing, so the scene in the bar, they're sitting, this guy's, like, being an asshole, he comes up, "Oh, can I buy you a drink?" This and that. He's like, "Oh, that's your boyfriend?" Like, this and that, and he, like, left. He was a dick, but he left. But he made a comment, and then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, Tom, like, went over and punched him in the
Yeah, but
face
alright,
when,
so
like
like that, but like it's not like it was unprovoked. Like it was just
yeah, but
like
he
you
it was
poke a bear, you're gonna
unnecessary,
get.
and he like, she didn't want him to do it, she didn't want the
No, but
protection.
I don't think he was doing it for her. He was doing it for him.
No, but he was doing it for her because when they go home, he's like, "I just got my ass kicked for you." So it shows,
Yeah,
like, he
that's
did it
true. But
for her.
I interpret it as like because not like saying like, oh, this is your boyfriend. Like it was more of like disrespect towards him than her.
Yeah, that's true, but
So
he was
I mean that's how I interpreted it.
and it's also, like, a flaw with, like, these nice guys, like, hopeless romantics that he thinks, like, "Yeah, like, I like, stepped up and saved the day and, like, punched this
Yeah,
guy for
yeah,
my
yeah.
girl," you know?
If you look at it
When,
from
like,
yeah,
in
in
reality,
reality,
like,
it was
he
just
really
him.
didn't have to do that, you
Yeah,
know?
I thought he was doing it more for himself, but you're right because he did say I got beat up for you.
Yeah. Also, another, like, realistic aspect was, like, I like how there was a lot of parallels between, like, stuff they did at the beginning of the relationship and stuff they did after.
Yeah, like the
Like,
movies and them going record shopping.
the IKEA scene, like, the first time they're there, they're, like, messing around, they're flirting, they're having so much fun. Then when they're in the IKEA, like, towards the end of the relationship, he's, like, trying to joke around, and she's, like, just not has no part. She's, like, cold towards him and stuff. And it's sorta like the honeymoon phase, I felt like I felt like that's what they were going for with that.
Yeah,
It was more like when reality sets in your relationship, you know? And it was realistic to the feeling of, like, growing apart from someone and, like, losing feelings, you
yeah,
know? So I thought that was very well done. And that's, like, the benefit of doing this nonlinear storytelling because you can do scenes like that where you can, like, clearly display
yeah,
excuse me, clearly display these parallels.
yeah,
Um, I also really liked, Chloe Grace Moretz in it, who plays his little sister.
yeah, yeah. She was good.
She was good, yeah, I enjoyed her character a lot, and she had a great acting performance for what she, like, needed to do. I don't know if that was one of her first movies, but she was definitely young,
Yeah,
and she kinda, like, tells him, like she seems more, like, romantically mature I don't know if romantic is the word, but, like, in terms
just
of relationship
mature.
advice,
Yeah, yeah,
she seems more mature than him, which is it's like a funny dynamic of, like,
yeah.
that's his little sister telling him, um yeah, I guess to talk about my favorite
Three
scene.
other favorite scene. Oh, I said my favorite scene already. Was
Yeah, my favorite scene was the expectation versus reality scene.
yeah. Oh, that was another really good scene too.
That was so well done because
Yeah.
I know, like, I'm sure you can agree that we've all done that, like, have these
Yeah, we have
high
the
hopes for, like,
scenarios in our head, yeah, and in
this
reality
perfect
that yeah.
thing. And just, like, watching it side by side was, like, really cool way to, like, tell
Yeah,
the story and show how,
I agree.
hopeless he is in a way. Because he has, like, these just such high hopes for well, I guess hopeless and having high hopes isn't, like,
Yeah.
the same thing or whatever. You get what I'm saying. He has, like, these great expectations, "Oh, she's gonna, like, fall in love with me again." Like, he just, like one little thing will happen and he thinks, like, she'll, like, be in love with him.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I definitely, like, saw myself a lot there and, like, getting these high hopes and just ending up being, like, disappointing myself. And I thought
Yeah.
it was like, since they had the side by side of, like, expectation, reality, and it was, like, 2 scenes next to each other, and then like, the expectation slowly fades out and the reality
He
overtakes
sets
the
in,
entire
yeah.
screen, and it's like reality setting in, and when
Yeah.
it overtakes the whole thing is the exact moment that he sees her engagement ring.
Yeah.
So I thought that was, like, a very well done sequence and a really cool that's probably one of the, like, the coolest scenes I've seen in, like, a romantic movie
Yeah,
or in
and
any
I didn't
movie.
expect that at all.
Yeah. Oh, like her being engaged?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense, like, it shows she just does shit because she wants to, like,
Yeah.
she's just engaged all of a sudden, you know? But that stuff, it's, like, heartbreaking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you really feel for him, but it is his fault at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and it's a movie that's both depressing and the ending is, like, depressing and hopeful at the same
Yeah.
time.
Because it shows that, like, he learned and now he's gonna, like, move on and like, take what he learned from this relationship.
Yeah, and it's very different than the normal romantic
Oh, yeah,
comedy where it's
yeah.
like happy ending, they like ride off into the sunset, whatever.
Mhm. I
Which it
agree.
just keeps going back to like the realism of it, how realistic it is.
Yeah,
And it's not afraid to like show the bad sides of relationships and love, you know.
yeah.
So my favorite character was still as much as he was wrong, I still love Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, he was one of my favorite character as well.
He was great. It was a great performance. He
Yeah,
actually like portrayed the emotions well. And you like buy him as this nice guy, like this like shy nice guy, you know.
yeah.
Zoe Deschanel was great though too. And
Yeah, yeah.
I love her. She's in a bunch of stuff. She's in
Oh,
Elf
the
also.
cast was all good. Even the good dude who plays Phil Coulson, I really like too.
Yeah, he was good in it.
Yeah.
Bro, did you know that one of the girls, like the lady that was like presenting her cat things?
Cat?
Remember when he has the freak out and he's like, "Oh, like these are total shit." Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
with like the lady she's presenting like her cards and they have
Yeah,
cats
yeah,
on them.
yeah.
That lady voices Naruto.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, actually, oh my god. Now that because I know who the girl looks like now. She's just I know that's crazy. What the fuck? I didn't even know
Like
she
such
did
a
that. Like, yeah, that's
it's
such
like
a
a
random.
weird
Yeah,
random thing, but I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah, I also liked his two friends, like the one that like got drunk at the karaoke. I thought he was
yeah,
really funny. And his other friend that was like cuffed with the girl for like 10 years or whatever. I thought he was really
yeah,
good too. The side characters were good. And they
yeah,
kind of like brought Tom back into reality a bunch.
yeah,
But yeah, do you agree with that Tom's your favorite character?
yeah. As much as he's like wrong, he's the hopeless romantic. It's like fun to follow him
Yeah. So I guess let me see if there's
in the
anything else that I
rating.
wrote. Yeah, I guess just to get into ratings, I gave this one a 4.5 star, 9 out of 10. It's basically, I would say it's probably my favorite rom-com besides Eternal Sunshine, but that's not really like a rom-com per se.
Yeah,
But yeah, I loved it, and I've yet to see any romantic comedy like come close to this level.
yeah. So I gave it I originally gave it a 3.5 out of 5, but I changed it to a 4 out of 5. Just because like after talking about like all the parallels and just a lot of good like scenes, that changed my mind. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, I feel like when I first watched it, I gave it a 4, I think, and then like started thinking about it more, I upped mine to a 4.5. But yeah, it's one that kind of like you have to let marinate with you a little bit.
Yeah,
And you can always go back and like see yourself as Tom
yeah,
if you're like at a certain point in your life.
yeah,
It's always going to be relatable. So, yeah. Um, I guess we'll just get to questions really quick and then you can recommend your movie.
yeah.
Do
I
you have
actually
one?
I'm thinking of there's two movies that I'm thinking of, but dude, I want you to pick. I'm gonna give you the two movies and you're gonna pick.
Okay. But let me just go to these questions first. All right, first one is from Tom Lieberman. Tom, thank you for the question. It is, what are your thoughts on Jared Leto?
Um, I mean, honestly, I haven't really seen him in much besides like obviously Morbius. I know he's in American Psycho. Is he good in that?
Yeah, he's good, but he plays like a small role. Um, he gets murdered by Patrick Bateman,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
which is
I've always seen the
awesome.
scene. Um,
I
and
think
then
he
what?
fizzled out. I think most of what he's been in recently has been shit.
Shit, yeah.
Besides, he was really good in Requiem for a Dream, but besides that, there's not really any
Yeah, I heard he was
performances.
bad in House of Gucci.
He was okay. He has this flamboyant like accent and all this
Yeah.
stuff. He's
You know
I
he's
watched
in
Fight
the
Club recently the other day. He's in it and like just gets beat up basically and has like 2 words of dialogue. So what were you gonna
he's
say?
in he got cast in the Haunted Mansion, like the remake or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think he's playing
spooky
like the
looking.
top. Yeah, he honestly
He's
though,
like
a lot of people were shitting on. I think he's like pretty good for that movie. Like I think that's like I don't know. It's supposed to be like a he fits the vibe of it.
yeah. I don't know. He seems like a little bit up his own ass in certain ways.
Yeah.
the whole like method acting and all the shit he was doing that's like just
Yeah.
being basically him being an asshole to like and to people around him to like get in his like acting persona or whatever. Like
Yeah.
people have their opinions about it. It's hard for us to like really understand it unless we're on set, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, but overall, not really positive feelings towards Jared Leto. I know he's a capable actor, but I don't know. A lot of the projects he chooses just aren't great.
Yeah.
He was good in Blade Runner 2049,
Oh,
but
he's
he
the
was
villain, right?
yeah, but his character worked well. It was like a good casting choice.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, overall, I would say negative opinions.
Well, actually, this just came out. Actually, I was on Twitter as you were saying this. Daredevil is only going to appear in one episode of She-Hulk. Sorry, that was a little random, but
Yeah, well, that sucks. But
yeah.
all right, whatever. I guess we'll go to the next question. And thanks, Tom, for the question. Um, this one's from Sophia.k.ua, who is an old friend of mine from IS-75. So
Oh,
it's kind of
nice.
weird that you found your way to this podcast, but if you listen, thank you for listening and thanks for the question. So let's get into it. What are some movies you would recommend to get into the autumn mood?
Yeah, well, actually,
No.
I have the two films that I'm going to recommend that I'm thinking of recommending are like very fall-esque films.
All right. Well, I guess that's a perfect. You could just say them and I'll choose one right now.
Oh, all right. Well, I mean, I have two, but there's a third one that I wanted something like fitting the theme of fall Halloween.
Mhm.
So, the first one I was thinking about was Beetlejuice because I know you haven't seen that, right?
No, I have, but
Oh, you have
yeah, but I'll rewatch it. But yeah, what's the other
Beetlejuice, and the other one was Coraline.
one? Ooh,
It's
that's a good one.
which I have not seen in a long time. And then the other one I was kind of thinking about was Rosemary's Baby, but that I don't really know.
All right. Well, we'll pick one after, but in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah,
fall vibes,
definitely.
Coraline, definitely.
Coraline, Beetlejuice, Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, I was thinking Nightmare
Um,
Before Christmas, but I feel like that gets me in more of like like a holiday
See,
season.
I'm the I know like people like there's a debate of like, oh, is it a Christmas movie or a Halloween movie? I when I watch it, I think more of Halloween.
I feel like it's more of a Christmas movie,
But I mean,
but
it's up. It's because
yeah.
most of the movie takes place in like the Halloween setting, and like all the characters are mostly Halloween people. Even when he becomes Santa in it, like it's all like Halloween shit.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I was gonna for me, the one that comes to mind is well, one of them is Halloween, like Michael
Yeah, yeah,
Myers.
the Michael Myers, yeah,
That's like a very
fall
fall vibe,
Halloween, yeah.
and that's more like spooky. I also like Halloween Town. It's kind of goofy, but
I've never seen it, but
yeah, it's like Halloween Town, Hocus Pocus. Those movies are like
yeah,
they're
Hocus
goofy,
Pocus
but like
I have to watch because I know the new one's coming out like next week or soon.
yeah. But yeah, I feel like Halloween, and also like when it gets into like October and autumn time, I do tend to watch like more of those classic horror movies.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
trying to get into the because I want to watch Pinhead, not Pinhead, Hellraiser 3, but I can't find it anywhere. I don't think I'm gonna watch like the 4 or 5 and whatever because they're kind of ass.
Yeah, you might have to torrent it, although we do not advocate for torrenting because it's illegal.
Yeah,
But if there's no other means of watching it, then
then do what you gotta do.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I guess my final answer will be Halloween, even though it's spooky. But what
Yeah,
about you?
Halloween. Yeah. I'm trying to think. Paranorman's another one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I love those. Like, what is that style called? Like the clay. I don't know. It's
Like
not clay.
claymation
Yeah,
or stop
especially for the
motion.
fall. I love that. Like, what
Yeah,
was the
because
other
there
one?
is something like overall eerie about like
The
claymation. It does look
Yeah,
natural,
yeah,
you know?
but in a good way. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited for Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio, which is going to be claymation or stop
Yeah,
motion,
it
whatever it's
looked
called.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, it's like it takes place in the 40s, and like the take on it is that like it takes place in Italy, I think, and it's occupied by Nazi Germany, and like they think he would be like a perfect soldier because he's like made of wood. He's not, he's not like human,
Yeah.
and it's gonna
Yeah,
be like,
that's pretty interesting.
yeah. I mean, it's Guillermo del Toro, so I'm sure it'll be like good.
Yeah. Yeah, alright, so, Sophia, thank you for the question.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually a good
If
question.
you actually listen to these, reach out, because 'cause that's, really weird that I haven't I haven't spoke to you in, since 8th grade probably, but, yeah, thanks for being a loyal fan to
Mm,
the podcast. Um, the next one is from CPA mom of 3, again, our mother.
the biggest fan, yeah.
She's our biggest fan and a very avid listener, and she says, "What was your favorite movie based on a book and one based on an original screenplay?" Um,
Based on a book, does The Thing count? Because technically that's a book.
yeah, I
The
guess, yeah.
Thing, I really like The Great Gatsby.
Yeah, The Great Gatsby is
Um,
a perfect example.
yeah.
For me, I would say the Harry Potter movies probably just because I read
Yeah,
the
you read all
books.
of them, yeah.
And yeah, I recently went through and rewatched all of them because my girlfriend had never seen any of them. So we went through all of them, and she loved them. So now she's messing with Harry Potter.
Potterhead now.
She's
Yeah.
a Potterhead, yeah. Um, and that's it's insane how consistent that franchise was. There's not a single
Yeah,
bad movie in the entire franchise. The worst one is like a 3.5, and it's hard to even say which one is the worst,
I gotta get
you
into
know.
them. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, also as we were saying, Hellraiser is based on the book The Hellbound Heart. That's one that comes to mind. Um, let me think. Yeah, like you said, The Great Gatsby. In terms of original
Um,
screenplay,
I know
though,
one already.
one of the best written films probably ever is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's like an awesome screenplay, and we
Wait, in
should.
terms
I
of, are
want
you
to
asking like best script or like, or just best overall film that's like an
like,
original screenplay?
yeah, I guess best film. That's an original screenplay, but it
There's a
has to
movie.
it should be because of the writing, because that's the whole point. You know,
I mean, I really
why?
like, I really like Mother. I don't know
Yeah,
if that
that's a great
counts.
example. Yeah,
Like
that definitely counts.
I love Mother. That's probably it's either, I know my two favorite movies are so fucking like, different. Either that or Superbad is my favorite films of all time. But I like, Mother is phenomenal.
Yeah. Did you walk away from the mic?
Yeah, I had a cool bit of napkin.
Okay, okay. No, your voice got lower. Um, but yeah, also Arrival.
I still haven't
Denis
seen that.
Villeneuve. Yeah, those are two. Arrival and Eternal Sunshine. I will recommend eventually. I I don't know when, but we will talk about them at
Cross
some
that
point.
bridge one day.
Um, so yeah, those are ones that come to mind. Thank you, Mom, for the question. Uh, and then the last question is from Pete, who we were just chatting about for Harry Potter. What are your thoughts on rom-coms and what are some of your favorites? Joe, I'll go first, I guess.
Yeah, you've probably
I
seen more
actually
than I have.
I really enjoy rom-coms. It's kind of they're seen as more chick they're called chick flicks because they're supposed to be for women. That's the target audience. But there's a lot of them that are very well told and well made stories and can teach you a lot, just because they're cheesy, and how romance,
Yeah.
there's still good movies. We just 500 Days of Summer is one. That's probably one of my favorites,
Yeah,
if
that's
not my
probably my
favorite.
favorite just because I haven't really seen that many. But I mean, it's a good movie. It's not like it's like, you
Yeah,
know.
Eternal Sunshine also. Like I said, it's not really comedy, but
Yeah.
um, another one that comes to mind is kind of a niche one, but it's this movie called Yesterday. Um, it's about some dude who I'm sure you've seen it. It's the guy who gets hit by a bus, and then when he wakes up, no one remembers who the Beatles are, so he
Oh
steals
yeah, yeah.
their
I heard
songs.
mixed things about that movie.
I love that movie, and it's a super cheesy romantic story.
Yeah.
Um, Also, there's this movie called What If that stars Zoe Kazan and Daniel Radcliffe, Harry Potter reference again.
Yeah.
And it's about it's a Canadian film. It's about this dude who like meets this girl at a party, but she has a boyfriend, and he basically like becomes her best friend, and it explores like their like
I feel like I've seen
relationships as
that.
friends versus like
Is
lovers
oh, I
and
think
stuff like
isn't
that.
Adam Driver in that?
Yeah, Adam Driver's
I've
in it.
seen that before. Yeah,
That's a very funny movie, and it's like a
yeah.
very heartfelt
There's like that
movie. It's
famous scene of him with the nachos.
yeah,
That
yeah,
was
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
That's a great. If you haven't seen that, I don't know
yeah.
if you said
I
you've seen it,
forgot.
Joe, or
Yeah,
no.
I saw it a while ago though.
But yeah, that's one that comes to mind. Overall, like I said, like I'm not willing, like any genre, I'm willing to check out and
Yeah,
expose myself to. I'm not gonna put myself in a box because I don't fit the intended target audience, you know?
yeah. I agree.
So
I'll let you watch
yeah,
anything.
yeah, rom-coms, thumbs up from me. Sorry if that brings
Yeah.
my manliness down, but yeah. All right, so Joe, let's decide on a movie. Which one do you want to talk about the most? Because it's your week to recommend. So
Um, I mean, I don't know. I feel like Coraline is like it's up there considered for one of the best claymation movies ever made. So I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe that. But also Beetlejuice is like I love Beetlejuice too. Like the whole like Tim Burton-esque. Tim Burton directed, it, right?
yeah,
Remember. Yeah. Did he do Coraline too?
no, no, I don't think so.
Let me see.
There's like a small chance, but I don't think he did.
Because that's like in the vein of his, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Let me see Coraline.
no, it's
Henry Silic, who's
oh,
the
he
guy
also
who
did
did
Nightmare Before
yeah,
Christmas.
Prime Street, and he's doing Wendell and Wild, the new like
Oh, oh, that's cool.
horror thing with Jordan Peele and Keegan Michael Key.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When is that coming out? Because
This
if that's
year.
coming out, then like within the next 2 weeks, I'll just recommend that because I
Well,
haven't
no,
seen it.
well, we talk about like one old movie and one new movie. That's like the whole
Oh,
point.
oh yeah, that's
So
technically a new movie. You're right.
yeah. So all right, just pick one. It's up to
Yeah, I
you. I'm
guess
good.
yeah, Coraline because it's a 4.1 right now on Letterbox, and it fits the whole fall vibe.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you picked that one because I've seen Beetlejuice like semi recently, and
All right, yeah, I haven't watched
Coraline,
Coraline in a
yeah,
while.
I haven't seen since I was a kid.
Yeah,
So all right, yeah, and then the next episode we'll talk about Pearl. We'll
Pearl,
talk about. Did
Coraline.
you see X or no?
No, I'm gonna have to watch it. I mean, I
Yeah, so
don't.
watch
Do
X.
I have to watch it, or should I watch X and then watch? I mean, should I watch Pearl and then X?
I would watch X first
Because
because
it's a
that's like the
prequel,
way.
right?
That's the
But
way the
Pearl looks sick.
director.
Pearl looks really
Yeah,
cool.
the director intended it for it to be seen as X first, then Pearl. So I would see X first.
Did the reviews
Yeah.
come out
So
for it yet? No, yet.
Pearl,
Yeah,
I think a couple, but yeah. Now let's just wrap this up though. So Pearl,
yeah.
don't worry, darling. Well, it depends when we record, but if we record after Friday, then we'll talk about it. If we record before Friday, then we'll save it for the next one. Um, is anything else coming out that we could talk about or no?
Um.
I don't think so.
Don't worry,
Right.
dog. Oh, Woman King comes out, and I want to watch that. Right now, it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. Yeah. If I like I said, like since I'm at school, it's harder for me to get to the movies now.
Yeah,
But if I get a
I
chance,
have
I'll
like a
see it.
big block of days off this week, so I'm gonna probably go a lot. I haven't used my Regal Pass for a while.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I would
Yeah,
say essential viewing for next week's episode: Coraline, Pearl,
And Pearl.
Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. So
All right, so that's
yeah,
about wraps it up.
everyone. Yep. Thanks for listening.
Mhm. See you guys.
Yeah. See ya.